Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal? All of you ugly motherfuckers. What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on? My dog.
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what? I'm out.
Right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah. Cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody
you're not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You respect yourself.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like so if it's cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first.
You such a gentleman.
I do what I do.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman. Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
So you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, cause what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So like, do the whole time you just like, oh no, this cool. This ain't. We just chilling. She just wanna rub my back. That's cool. Hey, ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. You ain't gotta kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
If she pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, yeah, this is the moment.
Just said, bro. I'm like, I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
that's
right?
The moment, yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's ain't the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my d. I didn't ask for it.
I don't say the words.
It's like, no, I didn't know. You know when I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen to you in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in. And he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings. You know, and I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he look like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shades. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, "Oh, Bernard,
him, you slut." But no,
he about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you gonna hear bitch.
What's the deal? You ugly. Nah, I ain't even gonna do that. Y'all already know what it is. But this is the issue we talk. You know what it is. I am your host, Lily. I am that regular dude that you're gonna see smoking and drinking and doing his thing on this natural Friday. My son is asleep, so I'm gonna try to be as I guess as stoic when it comes to my voice as possible. I am with. Oh, before I even do that, we got the pleasantries out the way, but by far, I would be remiss of myself if I didn't give a shout out to Twitch. You,
yes, Twitch,
beautiful, messed up individuals. I love y'all to my core. But anyway, with that being said, let's give a round of applause for my co-host, the lady with 1,000 jobs. You would think she's Jamaican. The lady who is a traveler extraordinaire, also a travel advisor. She'll let you know that it ain't good to go to Singapore right now because them niggas crazy. One of the Beehive's most gangsters bees that they could have. Bones Kansas City Stan. If y'all don't know that, y'all should know that now. She goes lyric to lyric with anybody. The lady that pushes the bells and the whistles. The lady that if it was not for her, again, it would not be no me. You would not see me on these social webs. Let's give a round of applause for the top shelf 6 foot of do-gooder. Let me get that toilet paper at the top of Walmart. Go ahead and grab that for me. Let's give a round of applause for my family and my co-host, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
All right. And again, this is the It's the We Talk. Lindsay, what's been going on with you? How's your health? How's your wealth? Are you good?
I'm good. It's funny that you mentioned like reaching stuff on the top shelf. I actually do get asked to get stuff off the top shelf at Walmart. Yeah.
I would expect that. You are fucking 7'9". Like, yes. Grab that for me. I'm not even gonna act like my 5'7" claws are gonna get up there and reach for shit.
Yeah, but it's totally different when it's a perfect stranger asking you to do that. Yeah. You can have on all red. Like, I'm no way affiliated with any of Walmart or its subsidiaries. But yeah, I'll get it for you. Don't worry about it.
I bet. I'm gonna just be a total logic on this situation. You think when Shaq was a kid, a motherfucker just walked past him and didn't want that pillow on the top of the shelf?
Right. Make
hey,
yourself
young
useful.
Man.
Right.
Go and reach that for me, young man. Go and get that down.
Right. Like, get somebody else to do it.
Oh no, I ain't getting shit. I'm not getting an employee. You are right here, sir.
You're so right here.
Yeah.
And it's right there.
Go ahead and get your what are them claw machines? Go on, get that claw machine hand up there and grab that motherfucking pillowcase for me.
Right. Like, oh, you mean just this right here? Like, oh, here you go.
Yeah. That shit that's at your chest, I need that right now.
Right. Like, oh, do you mind? Like, that's how they look. Like, no, what do you need? I'll get it. Don't worry about it. Like, do you need 2?
Yeah, at this point, shit, you should feel like, hey, this is my civic duty to the world when I go to the Walmart.
You know, when I get to the pearly gates and they ask me what I was doing with my life, you know, I'm gonna be like, you know, I may have been an asshole to a couple of people, but I was reaching stuff off the top shelf. So you gotta let me in.
That's
And I
it.
need full access. I
That's
need
it.
I need the full access wristband. I need to be able to get into all of the clubs.
Listen, who's gonna grab um Betty White's orthopedic pillow on that top cloud? But me. Y'all gonna
Yeah,
need me.
y'all gonna need me.
What are you talking about?
And I am at her service.
Yeah, get him out of here. You think Cat Williams gonna put his baby hands up there and grab that for it? No, it's me.
Right.
It's me. I'm more famous than you
Yeah.
think. The whole
Right.
city know me.
You know. But speaking of Cat Williams, boy, has 2024 been one hell of a year. You know what I heard today is that they need Cat Williams to do another interview so you can close the portal for 2025.
Listen, and I 100% agree. I just had this conversation the other day, and it's so wild that we're living in a society where Cat Williams is our Notre Dame.
Man, who'd have thunk? Because he sounded crazy as hell during half of that interview. It's like this. He can't be serious. He's not serious. He was dead ass the whole time. Like it was not a game. He didn't crack one joke.
Everybody thought it was a game when he said, and when Diddy wants to throw a party, he got to say no. Everybody thought that was the illest joke beginning the new year.
You know.
But if you pay attention, he also said, all lies will be exposed in 2024. This nigga went on there with the understanding of they're going to think I'm crazy, they're going to think I'm famous, cool, I'm going to get a bag out of it. But watch what happened. You know, he's been doing what he did in the beginning of the year was what Jaguar White has been doing for 4 fucking years straight.
That motherfucker is crazy.
Now that bitch is truly. Excuse me, I'll take that. I'm not gonna call Miss Jaguar a bitch. I'm so sorry. That lady is truly something different. But that lady has been exposing Diddy for a very long while.
I just want to know, has she been crazy this whole time? Or did something make her crazy?
I think something made her crazy. You gotta think they tried to blow her car up. Her husband did some dummy moves on her. All the stuff that she went through during the industry was when they deep dived into it, especially the one podcast that she's always on. They confirmed that like she's been through a lot of crazy things, and I think it just made her look crazy. In the blessed words of Dave Chappelle, it said, "Well, Hollywood calls you crazy. Is it really that you crazy, or is it you're in a crazy place?"
I don't know. That's something to think about. But as far as Jaguar Wright is concerned, she crazy. She crazy. There's no way of getting around that one. That motherfucker crazy.
But she's been right.
There have been some things that she's been right about, but a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's true. But because I'm gonna advocate for it. Those times that she was right was the crucial times that we needed.
Yeah.
Because she's been saying this, and she's been saying when he gets exposed, it is going to be a lot more people involved. And I'm going to take, because I was watching a lawyer on YouTube the other day, and he said the reason why a case this big doesn't have anybody else is because everybody is already telling it. Everybody is on the defense side.
I can see that. But let's act like we have been gone for 2 weeks, like we have been. So Diddy got arrested since the last time that we was on this podcast. He got arrested by the feds. They have been doing an investigation on him for months, and they have a whole lot of evidence. And if anybody is familiar with, I think it was the South District of New York, their success rate is like 98, 99%. And I heard through another case that the reason why their success rate is so successful is because they have such a airtight case that people just plead out. So, Diddy knew that he was going to be arrested, and he made himself available. And so he went to New York, and he was in New York for probably about a week before he got arrested. The arrest video TMZ already has. What else? So excuse me, he knew it was coming down the pipeline months ago when his houses got raided, right? So what he did was one of his houses, he owed like $18 million left on the house. So he went on ahead and paid off the house. And with him paying off the house, that allowed him to use that house as collateral for when he would need to post bond. So that house would be free and clear. They did request for bond twice. Both times got denied. The request was crazy though. They put up the house. They put up $50 million cash. They put up his mom's house. He had already surrendered his passport back to back when his houses got raided. He surrendered his passport to his lawyers. So they had already been in possession of his passport. However, he was also going to surrender his daughter's passport, including the 1-year-old, and his mama's passport. He got denied, and they said that he got denied because of the witness intimidation, because they believed that he was going to intimidate. They wasn't really worried about him being a flight risk, but the whole witness intimidation, because he called Kalina Harper, which she's the other woman that was in Diddy Dirty Money. He called her over like 54 times since Don Richard, who was in Diddy Dirty Money and Danny Kane, since she put out her lawsuit. So, and then she ended up putting out a statement or whatever going against what Don had said. So, that amongst other things is the reason why they thought that he would be what's that called?
A flight risk.
No, not flight risk. Intimidating the witnesses. So that's the reason why they kept him in jail. He's in jail with a former CEO of some big company. I forgot what company it was, but he's in an area where he's like, it's like around 20 people in the area, and on top of that, he's not eating in jail because he thinks that somebody's gonna put something in the food. So, from what I understand, they're gonna try again to try to get him out on that basis.
They're not getting Diddy out of jail, and the reason why Diddy is not eating is because Diddy is going through withdrawals.
That's possible because when they did arrest him, they did find that pink cocaine on him.
It's addict 101. I mean, if you had a family member that's an addict, or if you know somebody that's an addict and they they got to turn themselves in, you know what they do? They go balls to the motherfucking wall. And then when they get in there, they tweak the fuck out and they go through hell of withdrawals. Yeah. And one of those withdrawal things is they don't eat. You know why? Because they think because they're going through withdrawals, everything is trying to kill me. Yeah. Yeah. It's what it is. But when you're Diddy, you can play into that like, oh, okay, so he's just paranoid. No, the nigga need to sweat it the fuck out. That's just what it is. I'm pretty. You give him another week, and that nigga is going to eat that prison meatloaf. I don't give a fuck what you talk about.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to be on a hunger strike in jail. So,
it's really not. I know niggas that went through hunger strikes in jail, and they went fucking 30, 60 days.
What was they?
But not a drug addict. This nigga's a drug addict.
But what was they? Excuse me. What was they? When they were going through the 30, 40 days, what was they surviving off of? That's what I wanted to say. What was they surviving off of?
They survive off of juice and water. They get niggas to send them juice, and then you can drink water right out the sink. Mm-hmm. The niggas, I know niggas that did that.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Especially in the feds, they'll do it because if they think something is inhumane, niggas will do that and they'll protest, and they know when they do a friendly protest like that, this ain't regular penitentiary where these niggas will come in and then they'll just force y'all to fuck up out of there. They really have to because it's the feds, they really have to go into this whole thing where we have to sit down and we get to an understanding of what's going on. Yeah. These niggas is, these niggas is protesting. I know, and for the people that I know, it wasn't just a quarter of them. When it's like a group doing it, then it's one of those things where they don't really give a fuck. But when the whole module is doing it, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, but he's so high profile that they're gonna want to keep him alive. It's crazy. Like the whole situation is crazy, and it's unfortunate. Another person.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not to cut you off.
Unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate. It's not crazy. Just on the strength of, again, we all fell victim to this one thing and this one thing only. We all, since Pac died in 96, since 96, we have all heard that something was wrong with Puffy. But
what I mean by it's unfortunate or whatever is the people that are affected by it. I'm not necessarily talking about Diddy, because we're just now finding out about this stuff. Like the details of it. Like you said, something was not 100% with Diddy, but you went on about your business, Mm-hmm. So it's just all this stuff is just coming to the limelight. So it is sad and unfortunate for all the people that are affected, because it's not just the victims that are coming out, but it's his family. You know what I'm saying? Like them little girls looked at him like he was, like the best thing since sliced bread. And now all this stuff is being exposed about their father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's unfortunate and that's sad.
That is unfortunate. Now on that level, I thought you was gonna be one of those. And I'm sorry, I put you in the category of who I've been duck hunting the shit out of. These niggas that are on this side of, they always do this to a black man, and I'm like, y'all the same type of dudes that let y'all cousin come to stay with y'all because his sister said he did some touchy shit to her, and y'all was like, we ain't gonna get him in trouble. He gonna live with me, and then all of a sudden you wonder why your sister doesn't want to hang out with him.
Right. No, I'm not that. I'm not that type of individual.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you're not, and that's why I said I
Mhm.
apologize because I didn't.
Yeah.
I've been shooting these niggas down for the past 2 weeks. Like, man, you niggas is weird.
Yeah. As far as like the black people, they always doing this to a black person. That only really applies when the black person is like 1000% innocent.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't apply to a nigga who literally went on camera and harassed a rapper because he's never partied with him. The fuck are we talking about?
Oh, you know what we talking about. You know me when we party.
Yeah, this nigga. Hey, listen. I don't think that none of us should overlook the pain that is coming from this, from not only the people that were caught on camera, but the people who were caught on camera and didn't know they were being filmed, to the people who, because when I say caught on camera, this nigga even had toilet fucking cameras. This nigga is a goofy, but
yeah,
let's just move past that. We're not gonna overlook the hurt that is causing his mom, his daughters, and then this is the thing that I posted this on X, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm know what I'm saying, I'm wrong, and I would never disrespect that, but the way Diddy is and the way these sons of his are trying to defend him lets me know that he is initiated them into thinking that is normal.
Well, one of them got sued with him. So when the lawsuits start coming out, one of them lawsuits involves King Combs.
And I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it too. I believe it too. Now, as far as the lawsuits is concerned, I mean, you have to judge them case by case. And this latest one, she kind of went into detail with her press conference or what have you, but I always question everything that Gloria Allred or Lisa Bloom is involved with. And Gloria Allred is this lady's lawyer. I may be on an island with that, but I always question it because I don't see positive outcomes when they're involved. And they're always involved when something big like this, when it involves women. But you never see a positive. Hell, you don't even see an outcome for real. I don't know what they do outside of knowing who to call for the press conference. Like, I don't.
Me and you are in the same boat.
Yeah, so yeah, I always side eye when them two are involved.
I'm super side eye with it because that was one of the speculations with Puff. He said, I won't be around any lady. And you got this woman coming up with this lawsuit, and I get with the whole Cassie issue, and Don, and yes, he is very problematic with women, but I just really want people to understand that Puffy just yells at these bitches and fights these bitches. He really molests men. Like, him saying I won't be around any other women don't nobody give a fuck about you not being around the women. It's those scared ass niggas that they scared that you gonna run up on them and still be ass clapping without consent, my nigga. Let's just keep it a bean. They don't want you out here ass clapping without consent. You could be like, I ain't never been around no one.
You need to ask. Ask before you ass clap.
Yeah.
That should be on a t-shirt.
After him, yes, of course. It's I don't want to ever downplay anybody, and I've done this on the podcast before. When it comes to a business mind, Puffy is at the top tier of that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to a hit maker, at one point in Puffy's life, he was, and that was because of the talent around him. Puffy don't know a hit when it slaps him in the face, but he does know talent.
Why do you say that?
The reason why I say that is because it after G death, he had certain spots, certain things, boom, 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 that he come, but it was sporadic. And then I watched how he with the whole situation with that Drake song that he was mad about just because he didn't hear the hit. So when Drake made it, he was mad at Drake.
What song is that?
Oh shit. What was that? What was that motherfucking song? I'm gonna have to YouTube that shit. But Drake and Ghost wrote for him, and he said, "Nope, I don't want it." And so Drake said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just do the song."
Okay.
And then he got mad at Drake for that.
Is that what he smacked him for?
Yeah.
Okay. Another person I feel sorry for is us, the fans.
Man, I don't. I get it. I get it. But I don't, because we all knew some weird shit was going on with this nigga. We just turned a blind eye to it.
No, I don't think we necessarily turned a blind eye. It was just like, it's something you can't quite put your finger on.
Well, we didn't know the nigga was going that far. Like I used to,
of course we did.
Hand to the Bible. I used to tell motherfuckers like, I don't give a fuck if that nigga a gay or not. Like this nigga he's a mogul.
But the gay is the least of the worries. Like we don't give a fuck if he's gay or not.
Yeah. See, that was for my thing that, gay, bi, whatever that my thing was, I was cool with that. Now, fast forward to now, it's like, nigga, it wasn't even that. You just a fucking predator. You a monster.
Yeah.
You're a monster. I'm gonna say this again because I don't think people really understand what type of individual puts a camera in a toilet or several toilets, because this is Diddy. It takes a methodical sexual predator to get sexually aroused by someone urinating or defecating in a fucking toilet.
Could you imagine you dropping a deuce and your deuce is the one that broke the camera? And now you got to get somebody out here to fix it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, too much fiber in my diet.
Too much fiber in my diet. I done broke the motherfucking camera.
Right. Well, first off, why the fuck you got a camera in the toilet?
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's explain it. Them niggas had to sign the NDA.
Let's start. But you know what? That's the part that I'm confused about too, because I'm like, you having all of these freak offs and stuff like that. Like, nobody was signing NDAs. I'm so confused. Because I'm like, you could, like, this whole recording to hold it over people's head shit that they're saying that he did, you could have done the same thing with an NDA. Maybe no. Like
No.
I don't know.
I mean, I would. This one thing, and I really want to tell the audience, especially because I really want y'all to understand. Puffy was doing some shit. Even if it was consensual, he was doing things to man that they wanted to take to the grave, and so to have that weighing over them was way heavier than any other NDA or whatever you can pull out.
Yeah.
And he knew that, and that's what he was doing. I go back to the last podcast. Aaron Hall let y'all know this nigga only ride with niggas with big dicks. Like Ash Jodeci. Like, nigga, what are we talking about?
Oh man.
You don't want that exposed. You don't want that exposed, man. If you are a sexism symbol and a ladies' man, and you got a dick as long as a yard, you know what you don't want to get exposed. Puffy not giving a fuck about that and clapping those cheeks.
Lord have mercy.
Clapping them. Your dick knocking down shit on the table, and this nigga dick is knocking your fucking rectum loose. That shit is wild.
What's even more wild is if you don't like men, and that's happening. Right.
That's the whole thing. Or you saying you don't like men.
Right. Or you're going along with this.
Yeah.
Like if you are of sound mind and body, you don't like men, but you agreed to have this done to you.
Yeah. Or you just simply got high. If you the shit that they got and the Tootsie cocaine that nigga is doing. If nobody knew, it does a couple of things. It has a couple of things in it. One is a tranquilizer to make sure that you don't feel it being rough if someone is doing that to you.
Yeah.
So you could have just been at a Puffy party and was like, used to cocaine and not giving a fuck, and then you like, oh, this nigga got pink cocaine. We live, baby. You thinking you kicked it, and the next thing you know, you wake up to. And it's you.
And it's you.
And it's you. And you halfway don't even feel this shit.
No, you're just there.
You just stuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, like, if I was like, what the fuck? Like, I would lose my fucking shit.
Right. Oh gosh, that's horrible. But another part of this that's sad and unfortunate is for me, it's truly disgusting how people go. Is the coverage that people are doing about Kim Porter.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole Kim Porter aspect of it all is just very disgusting. Like at the end of the day, she left behind 4 kids. It's been about 6 years. And
yeah, you gotta let that lady rest.
Yeah. And people so there was a book that came out because people have been speculating that she was writing a book. So there was a book that came out. It came out on Amazon. It sold like crazy. And then turns out it was fake. And the author, he said that somebody who is a reliable source gave him a flash drive that supposedly is this memoir that Kim Porter was writing. And he don't know if it's 100% true. He think it's 80% true. but he doesn't know. But he's an investigative journalist. Not only is he that, but he also has been attached to other stories and other big stories. And he released this book or whatever under a different name. And he it's disgusting. It's very disgusting what they did. But I heard that like a lot of people are trying to return it and get a refund, and Amazon is just like, we're just processing your refund. You don't even have to give it back. Like,
man, listen, ain't nobody getting no money from that. Listen, you fucked up. You gave that nigga a bag, man. That's what it is.
Yeah. And even before the book came out, and it's like a 60-page book, but even before the book came out, people have been coming at the kids, tagging them in posts and stuff like that, talking about, y'all need to exhume her body. Y'all need to look into it. We don't think it's a illness that she died from. We think she was murdered. All this kind of stuff. Like, people have been really campaigning online for a while now. And it's like, at the end of the day, this may be salacious to y'all, but these are these people's moms. At the end of the day, like, why would y'all think that anybody wants to just randomly log onto the internet and see people tagging them in posts talking about exhuming their mom's body?
Right.
Like, that's crazy, and it's very sad and unfortunate, especially because the twins are still underage. Like, and they all of them have to go through life now without their mom.
And eventually without their dad.
Yeah. So, and then on top of that, a lot of people have these theories that the dad killed the mom. Like, don't nobody want to see that shit when they log on. Whether you believe it or not, you believe it. You keep that to yourself. Like, that has the way that this plays out has nothing to do with the way that you live your life on a day-to-day basis. Let them people live their life. Like, that's just it's disgusting. It's disgusting, the coverage that people have chosen to go with that.
It's all a money grab. It's what people are just trying to capitalize off the situation as much as possible. And it's crazy because if you really think about it, for all of a sudden this memoir to just surface, you have to know it's a money grab. You have to know this. Nobody was stupid enough to do this since OJ tried to sell the book If I Did It. Yeah. Like, you should have known what it was. I knew it was a Ponzi scheme when I watched everybody trying to post these quotes in these pages, and I was like, man, this shit ain't real. Like, shit ain't motherfucking real, man. Y'all gotta let that go. I believe more in fucking Sasquatch than I do that. You know what I'm saying? That all of a sudden this came out.
I don't believe it because that's her bread and butter, and that's her kid's father. Like, I don't think that she was writing a memoir. I don't.
Even if she was, this ain't that.
Yeah.
And I'ma just be me. You think something like this would have escaped the eyes of one of our greatest fucking villains in rap history? 50 fucking cents. You think a real memoir would have not passed his hands first?
Yeah, I have a point.
I was saying this shit today. 50's been hating this man for years. He's hated this man so long.
What is the basis of this hate?
Okay, so
I don't know too much about it. What I do know is 50 was in an interview, and I seen the interview. It was a Breakfast Club interview.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him about Puff and, Puff being who he is and the success. And 50 did straight out just turned to a look of disdain and said, man, I don't really fuck with him like that. Like that ain't that ain't the type of caliber of dude. And they asked him why, and he explained like Puffy had came to 50 and when he was blowing up. And he was saying, hey, I like your music, I dig your stuff, what, we should hang out. Let me take you shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And 50 was like, I thought I didn't hear it right. So I asked him, what did you say? And he said, yeah, nah, for real, like, let me take you shopping. And that right there made him say, hey, man, get the fuck away from me type of shit. He knew it was something into it. He said, man, what man wants to take another man shopping?
But I feel like it has something deeper than that, because I don't know if you know, but 50 used to ghostwrite for him.
Yeah, he said that in the interview too.
Yeah. So they and this was before his Shady Aftermath deal. So this was like around the How to Rob era. So it's like they go way back. And then I was just thinking about it today. Like, when Diddy on the I Get Money remix?
You could be right.
Yeah. So it's
I
like
just know
something happened.
Whatever happened, like
something more than just shopping happened.
It has to be everything that they are connected to, because remember 50 is also the same dude that is putting his baby mama on the field saying, nah, this bitch used to be a concubine. She was a concubine for Puff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was a concubine at the time, but she worn out for Puff. She reeling them niggas in. Like, that's bringing them niggas in for Puff. He been whatever it is. And 50 has been collecting evidence, over 10 years of evidence. This I know. And he said this. 10 years of evidence that he said he has on Puff that he wants to do a documentary. And the funny part, the real funny part about it is this man literally said if he comes out with it, he's gonna call it Diddy Do
It. You gotta love 50. You gotta love him.
50 is one of the funniest niggas in hip hop, and also one of the dangerous niggas in hip hop in the same fucking breath.
Extremely dangerous. You got, like I said, you gotta love him.
This nigga literally, if he comes out with this and he names it Diddy Do It, I am going to watch every fucking episode.
Yeah. Speaking of documentaries, because we all know that Diddy, not Diddy, 50 has sold the documentary that he's doing on Diddy to Netflix, but it hasn't came out yet. I don't even think it's finished. But a few months ago, TMZ did a documentary, and I watched that one. It was called The Downfall of Diddy. TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy. So what just came out, I want to say yesterday, was basically a part 2. The Downfall of Diddy, the indictment. I haven't watched that one yet, but that one is out, and his lawyer did an interview with Harvey. So, and I've heard clips of it, because they talk about the baby oil. That's another thing we need to talk about too. But
I ain't even
Yeah.
went there yet. The
Yeah.
baby oil ain't the only thing. It's some real serious shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. So they talk about the baby oil and whatnot in it, and it's I don't understand what the point of the lawyer doing this interview with Harvey was about. Like, he should not have done the interview. He should have
I'm
just
gonna
let
tell you.
the interview just come out.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what that shit is. It's hard to defend a nigga who you know is going to jail, and then you know that all of this retainer money. If he had him on retainer, is about to go. So I need to snatch me a good 1 million bags. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it as any other way, because it's like, why would you, again, if you're defending this man, why would you get on here and say anything? If I'm a lawyer, I'm not saying anything until we actually go to court. I'm not talking to these people. If I'm doing press conferences, that is a whole different thing. And then I'm still gonna keep it short and sweet there. I ain't gonna be his lawyer. His lawyer is this is how you know when a nigga is about to get strung up. When you have press conferences and people throw these allegations out, and the first thing you don't say is, "Oh, we're gonna fight it in court." This nigga said, "Yeah, you know, it was there." Like, what?
Because there's no denying it. It was there, you know. Tell he's watching. She says, "Hey, it's Talker. Sorry, I'm late. Hey, this Diddy stuff has been crazy. Do you think he's gonna get life? I don't think he's going to get life, but he may spend his life in jail, if that makes sense."
Yeah, Diddy definitely ain't getting out of jail.
Yeah.
They're not. They definitely gonna get him. Like, y'all thought it was, some of y'all thought it was wrong the years that they wanted to give Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of y'all think it's wrong the years that they gave R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Sex trafficking, my nigga, prostitution and sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, man, it's a wrap. I don't give a fuck what they talk about. I don't give a fuck if half them charges get dropped. He's going to jail forever.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. And this time, that's a complete no-no. And that's how they knew they can get him. That's why the feds took their time, because they wanted to make sure they had enough where even if 9 of these, you know what I'm saying, shits that we got get dropped, he's still going to fucking jail.
Yeah. Yeah, they they definitely put this in the crock pot and slow cook this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They definitely did that. But yeah, let's get back to what they found. So when they did do the raid, which was like March, I think. I think it's when they raided both of his homes. We're just now finding out what they found in the homes, and they found over 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil. There's not one baby in sight, and Jiffy Lube is nowhere to be found.
Listen.
So what are you doing with all this lube and baby oil?
Again, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Puffy used to have a bunch of young women around him. These young women to be around a store are gonna be hot and heavy. You don't need lube for that. You know what you need lube for?
I have a guess.
When you be like, yeah, hey man, I really like your music, boy. You a dope ass rapper. Drink this.
Take one more sip.
Yep.
Just one more sip.
Yep. You need lube for this. What the fuck? That's what you need lube for.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Listen, I'm just thinking now, like, because Puff, they've been exposing all of this niggas like interviews and like when he talks about these parties, and he talks about he doesn't have any AC, so he wants people to like
Yeah.
get naked. I can imagine this nigga's whole pool being spring water and baby oil. I can imagine if because I can only say this from experience, people on the interweb. If you ever had the privilege to be in an area where they have a water purifier and a water softener, and then they pour oil in that water, and then they tell you to get in it, and they bathe you, oh, you look extremely where you look like everything that everybody was probably seeing off that pink cocaine. And jumping for in and out of a pool, because Puffy got enough money to get water softener and baby oil infused in a pool, and everybody comes out looking like they ready to do whatever.
I can just imagine all the people slipping and sliding and falling all over each other.
That's how it starts. You slipping and sliding, and all of a sudden, you didn't know Puff Daddy dick was hard.
I'm just thinking, I mean, this may be a bit too much, but this is where my mind goes. Because I'm just thinking of all the fucked up pH balance and yeast infections that baby oil in the wrong places can cause.
Yeah, again, you thinking about a woman, he ain't even worried about them. He looking at Busta Rhymes climbing about that pool.
We got the live shit from front to back. I'm my niggas in the world. Where my niggas?
Yeah, I said it. I said it. And I ain't disrespecting Busta at all, but I said it.
Yeah.
And I respect Bust, but I said what I said. The lube. All right, let's do that, and then let's not talk about the videotapes. And
okay,
then
before we get to the videotapes, I haven't seen anybody come out and say, no, that's not what happened. That wasn't found. So, but I'm still gonna put allegedly on it because we don't know. But
I was going there. I wasn't even going. That's why I said I'm not talking about the videotapes, but I know what you about to say.
Right. Like the 780 some odd dildos.
784 dildos.
Oh, to be exact, excuse me. 784 dildos. Like, who even knew that the world had 784 dildos? Or maybe he's buying them like in bulk of the same ones. Maybe he has like a top 5 of dildos and he just buys them. Or maybe he just he doesn't rinse and repeat. It's one-time use for him. Maybe he sends them home as party favors. I don't know. But that's a lot of motherfucking dildos.
My whole thing is all the houses that they raided.
Mm-hmm.
How in God's green earth do you hide 784 dildos?
I'm assuming he has a sex dungeon. And he has it, locked up like how people have like gun rooms or panic rooms or whatever the fuck. He has it locked up so that like the kids can't get in it and shit. And you know, when they do raids, they kick in the door, waving the fofo, you know. So they found them. But my thing is that because it's not illegal to have dildos, it's not illegal to have baby oil, it's not illegal to have lube. So what amount did you have to come across before you was like something suspicious? Huh? Maybe
I'm
we
gonna
should
keep
take
coming.
account of how many times we come across lube.
I'm
Like,
not in law
is it
enforcement.
10 bottles? Is it 20? Is it 100? Is it 120? Like, how many bottles do you have to come across before you're like, we need to start tagging these motherfuckers and take these with us? Like, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Listen, I'm not in law enforcement. I don't know how the feds work. I've never collaborated with the feds in any way. This is just me as a man. If I go in a man's bathroom, and I see one bottle of lube, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. If I see 2 bottles of lube, I'm like, okay, well shit, maybe you know, something's going on with the bitch she fucked. If I see 3 bottles of lube, oh, this nigga is fucking nasty.
Why 3 bottles makes you nasty?
3 bottles make you nasty is because this is what you use all the time. So
What?
either you got a problem or you fucking nasty. 1 bottle is boom, all right, you know, maybe every now and then y'all try something. 2 bottles is, oh, you know, that couple is really into some shit. 3 bottles is every fucking time. Y'all gotta keep a supply of this.
You know,
Y'all nasty.
You know, first off, I feel like you're nasty, period, if you just got lube randomly out in your bathroom and you got company. That's something that you should put away. But what if, because you may come over my house and find 3 little tubes of Neosporin. And that's because I forget where I put the Neosporin. And when I need it again, I have to go buy another bottle or another tube. So I might have like 3 Neosporins in the house and they're all open and they're like, you know, used gently. But I have 3 open bottles of Neosporin. So what if you go over somebody's house and they have 3 bottles of lube and they're like gently opened, and all 3 of them are gently open? Maybe because they couldn't find the lube when they needed the lube, so they had to go buy some more lube. But now they found their lube, so now they have more than 1 lube. You know? Is that a possibility? Or is they still nasty?
I mean, you put up a good case, and the thing I'm gonna shut you down on is if I go into someone's bathroom. First of all, if I'm even going through their drawers, it's because they told me to. They say, "Hey man, go reach in there and grab such and such." If I see 3 Neosporins open, I'ma automatically assume all these niggas, they clumsy as fuck. They be fucking themselves up, and I'ma automatically assume, yeah, they keep losing these motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that. If I see 3 bottles of lube, I'm gonna say, okay, so whatever type of freaky shit you niggas be on, y'all do it too fucking much.
But they're gently used.
They're generally, you know why? Because y'all lose them in probably the most fucked up areas.
I wouldn't say they would lose them in the most fucked up areas. They probably lose them like behind the headboard, up under the bed, on the other side of the nightstand. And then
in
when
the
they
guest
do a
house,
little,
in the guest house, in the
yeah,
guest bathroom, and on the patio, on the barbecue deck. Y'all lose these, and then y'all find them in random places, and then you just be like, oh shit, let me just put these motherfuckers up. Y'all
right.
be on some
They
nasty
take them.
shit.
They take them and be like, yeah, good
Exactly.
smooth.
This is exactly what these niggas do. I'm getting the char off of it. I'm getting you gotta get the set it the disinfectant and like spray it down because it got like char on it. I mean, you niggas is net. First of all, listen, and this is just me. People can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're dealing with a woman or you dealing with whoever you're dealing with, and y'all could be having sex every day. Y'all could be having sex 3 times a day. That's cool.
And twice on Sunday.
And twice on Sunday. What you not gonna do is have 3 fucking bottles of lube. Y'all don't need it. When you have 3 bottles of lube, that means y'all are doing some shit. That
I mean, you get bored.
Yeah, and y'all doing some shit.
Yeah.
And
Boredom is real.
You just took a fucking smoked turkey leg up the ass at this moment. The fuck are we talking about? 3 fucking bottles of lube? And I'm just saying 3. I'm not even mentioning 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube that we talking about.
Right.
1,000 bottles. Let me know. And I'm not disrespecting anybody when I say this at all. But 1,000 bottles, let me know. When Puffy throws a party, it is so much fudge packing in that motherfucker that he can start a Little Debbie fucking franchise. And it is what it is. I'll die on that. I'll die on that cross.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Ashton Sanders is watching. Hi, Ashton. Says all we can really do is laugh and or judge him for his kinks. That's not criminal. Pause. LOL. It's not. I mean, some of the stuff going on is like really fucked up. It's sinister. And he has alleged victims, but you have to pull some of the stuff from it and laugh at it.
You gotta laugh at it.
Yeah, because it's really fucked up at the end of the day.
But you do have to understand, and I was talking about this today too, because I really want to innovate this because a lot of people just like slide this through. This Tootsie that this man is on, a lot of people don't know what's in that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have been a victim to like snorting cocaine with Puffy, 9 times out of 10, whatever they caught you on camera doing, you didn't even know where you were taking, so you weren't out of your mind, and that is not consent. I don't give a fuck what anybody is talking about.
Yeah. Right.
It's one thing to be on cocaine and be like, yeah, we all did cocaine and whatever, blah. But everybody doesn't know what's in Tootsie.
Now, question, because I feel like this is going to open a portal. If you willingly take the drug, can you give consent?
No.
So it's pretty much safe to say that you're not knowing what you're doing.
You're not knowing what you're doing. For me, and this is just me, because I'm not in any type of law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything. If me and you are getting high, not you, Lindy, because you fat. Mm-hmm. But if, we're in a situation where we're getting high, we're drinking, whatever, and you like pull your dick out, nigga, and I've been one to fuck, then it is what it is. I'm not gonna trip off of it. because I know what we're doing. I know what we're drinking. I know what we're smoking. I know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I don't know that you have put anything in this weed that I'm smoking, and you get me on that level, and I do that, then that is not my consent at that point, because I thought we were just getting high off weed. I didn't know you didn't mix this shit with such and such and such and such. Bitch, I probably don't even like you. Right. And now I'm doing it because I'm high off some shit I didn't know about.
Yeah.
I knew I came here for weed.
You're right. That goes pretty much without saying that we pretty much set that standard in previous cases that you cannot give consent, especially when you are inebriated on some shit that you didn't want to be inebriated on, you know? Yeah. But if you willingly take it, can you give consent?
You still can't give consent on that. And the only reason why I say that is because we have had plenty of cases where people was like, yeah, we did get high. You know, I shot heroin with him or whatever, and then I woke up with him on top of him. Yeah. You still not, you know.
But but that's waking up with somebody on top of you because they got on you when you were out. So you're not giving consent when you're out. What I'm saying is that if you willingly take drugs, like nobody is forcing you, you actually brought the drugs to the party. If you willingly take drugs, are you giving consent while you are high? Can you give consent while you are high? So you faded off of whatever the fuck you took that you brought to the party. You knew exactly what the fuck you were taking. You made it. You made
that shit.
You made that shit. You took that shit. You was happy with taking the shit. While you are high on that shit, can you give consent?
Yeah, if you agreed to suck a dick, then that's your fault.
Okay.
I mean, and I don't want to downplay nobody on that, but if I said, boom, I know what this Tootsie is, I know what it does, I'm gonna snort this shit anyway. That's why niggas are collaborating with the feds right now, because now these niggas that did that are on these tapes. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they gotta be like, oh yeah, we were doing this and we were doing it, and and that's why the feds got him pinned to a wall, because these niggas on tapes are collaborating that yeah, we were doing this and we knew what we were doing, but some of these niggas didn't know what they were doing.
Or they got forced into doing it. Uh-huh. And instead of what other people were saying was happening to them as far as them being tricked into taking the drugs or it being put in their coffee or whatever the fuck, they're saying that Diddy was like, you gonna take this shit. Take that. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you're taking it, but you're being coerced into taking it.
That's one, and you know, and I'm pretty sure, and I don't know anything about law, but I'm pretty sure in this case, conspiracy is playing a role in it, because and with what you're saying, I'm pretty sure it's been plenty of people on the page where the feds convinced them to say we did this out of duress.
Mm-hmm. And then there's some people that are finding out, because there's some people that didn't even know that they were even being recorded, you know? Yeah. So he says, they said Tootsie is a mix of cocaine and ketamine. It's a mixture of substances and it's colored pink. Yeah, and ketamine is like what, a tranquilizer?
It's a tranquilizer.
Yeah.
So it makes you numb. It also has Viagra in it to make sure that your dick stays hard.
That's some bullshit. Ashton says they are so happy the videos are in the hands of the feds and not the diddler anymore. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Because he's probably been holding it over people's heads for like 20 plus years. You know what I mean?
Because I'm be one of those people that tell y'all I'm not gonna act like I've been super woke for years and none of that. I am literally just now finding out that I guess, what can I say? Because I'm not gonna downplay this person. This tall Roman fucking ramen noodles packet hair individual, transsexual individual, was in a lot of videos back in the day with them, which should let us know that he was on some weird shit back then.
You talking about in Big Papa video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Flavor in Your Ear video.
Yeah. I never understood that part of the video. Like, what was the point of adding that to the video?
It was him telling people who he was, but not because for me, I didn't know that I was a transsexual male or a transsexual female, excuse me, until now. Like, I was fucking 2 weeks ago, years old, when I found that out. I was like, what? And I was watching interviews, and when LL Cool J confirmed it, I was like, oh.
Yeah. I didn't know that about that person, but the I just never understood that scene, the bathroom scene.
I never did either, and why that was the one that Biggie was looking for, and why that was the one Buster got taken away from.
Yeah, and he was mad about it.
It was wild. Or why LL keeps saying that he wasn't trying to out this man back then. He was just saying an ad lib. No, we thought you were saying an ad lib back then, but you really were saying he, she. On the, you know what I'm saying, with the he, she dancing in back of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that's coming out that we didn't know.
And my Cat Williams voice, listen, all lies will be exposed in 2024.
Basically. Says, what videos are y'all talking about with the trans person? Big Papa.
And Flavor in Your Ear remix.
Yeah. Soon as you buy that wine, I just creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are. Who you be with? Things that make you smile. What number's the dial? For a while, I'm gonna call my crew. You gonna call your crew. We gonna
rendezvous at the spot on round two.
Yeah. That part. So, yeah.
It ain't no getting around it, man. We know. We always knew Puff was weird. We didn't know what Puff was doing was detrimental to a lot of people's careers, and a lot of people's livelihoods. And that's one of the things. Like, we're downplaying it, we're cracking jokes. Puffy is, and I always say this, and I get a lot of flack, but Puffy is one of our monsters. And the thing about this is, you have a lot of these quote unquote conscious people that say they always do this to a black man, and they try to talk about all of these glorified things that this black man is doing, and then that's why they're putting them out there like that. I always have to fight with that and saying, their monsters are gonna make another monster and a scapegoat. I don't give a fuck about who was doing other things and other things. The fact that it is a man that looks like me, who said that they were for people that look like me, that was doing some monstrous shit to people that look like me. You're a fucking monster. It is what it is. And whatever happens to you is what happens to you. Our problem, all of us, Every last one of us that look like this and has this hue, we have a problem with trying to justify some unjustifiable shit.
Mhm.
Listen, Puffy did it, R. Kelly did it, Bill Cosby did it, your fucking brother did it, your uncle's nasty, and your daddy don't come around. It is what it is. Grow the fuck up and let's ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. And that's the part that sucks. It's like we be loyal about the wrong shit,
Man,
you know.
I always get and no downplay to any of my black women out here, or any of my BBW women, but I always get this fat weird bitch to tell me, "Hey, he didn't do nothing wrong. You need to check the parents." Okay, yeah, check the parents, but fuck R. Kelly too. But what are you talking about? You gonna ride with a pedophile? Like, what are we talking about? Where was the parents at? Nigga, wherever they was at, they didn't know he was pulling his dick out. What are we talking about?
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up because like I said, we be loyal about the wrong shit.
These niggas right now, there's gonna be a motherfucker to be like, well, shit. Well, they'll make themselves look suspect. It's a nigga right now saying, well, shit. I mean, if he gonna make sure that you a millionaire, and I mean, you know, you do coke all the time, nigga. Ain't no telling what's going. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen when you do regular coke. It's some niggas that's gonna explain this weird shit about Puff. Your niggas is the nigga is wrong.
It, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This nigga is wrong, y'all. It is what it is. This nigga is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, the shit is definitely wrong, and you shouldn't. Excuse me. It's not something that you should do. It's just not, you know. And unfortunately, his chickens are coming home to roost now. You know, it's unfortunate that this had to happen for the victims and stuff like that, because in a way they're being re-victimized, and that's not cool, you know. But unfortunately, stuff like this happens, and people are brought to the table. You know, I just feel bad. I just feel bad for the kids and for his mom and for the victims. You know. Yeah, because all those people mentioned are victims. But like I've said before with the R. Kelly situation, I don't think R. Kelly was the only person doing it. I think there was other people that should have been brought up on charges as well with R. Kelly. And I feel the same way with this Diddy situation. Diddy wasn't doing that by himself. So it should be other people. But with this being a Fed case, I feel like as Lily mentioned earlier, there's probably a lot of people that have been talking to the feds, getting plea deals and stuff like that, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's going on.
They're not even getting plea deals. They're getting immunity.
Or
this
immunity.
shit is bigger than rap, like legit bigger than rap.
Oh yeah.
This shit, listen, the only thing that Puffy is not doing is turning Nino Brown.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Vision Iconic is watching. Hey, he says they should be going after Clyde Davis.
They should be going after fucking Sean Combs. Okay.
Maybe both.
Hold on, let me shut my door so I won't wake my son up.
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody wants to pull a name up. Everybody wants to put somebody else as the scapegoat. That's what we're doing. Puffy has got caught doing some weird shit. Period. Dot. I don't give a fuck where he learned it from. He is still a monster. The reason why I say he's a monster is because even if he learned it from someone, and that's what he was doing at the beginning, the fact that he's continuing to do it makes him a monster. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. At one point, listen, I get it. A lot of us, especially in the Black community, we have a victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
We have that to the fullest. But what we as Black people don't say in real time and be honest is sometimes that victim becomes the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, yeah, it sucks to see another Black person doing wrong, but they're doing wrong. Like that's my whole thing. Like we not supposed to turn a blind eye just because they Black. Like they're doing wrong. Vision Iconic says, I just don't like that the scapegoat always has to be a man of color.
It's never always the man of color. Y'all just say something when the men of color get put out there.
Yeah. Tohi says, at this point, I believe it all. Just have the trail, let all the other evidence come out and convict him. I just want to know how long he's going to get. You like speed up the process. Like I need to end it.
Right.
Vision Iconic says, correct. The victim becomes the victimizer.
It happens all the time, bro. It's like,
yeah,
we could say to the top of our lungs, Puffy learned it from somewhere. He had to do this. Blah, blah, blah. We should bring up this person. We should bring up this person. We should bring up this person. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. At the end of the day, he is still a part of that caliber. And why are we not putting that type of caliber if we don't respect it? Why are we not putting them niggas on the chopping block? I don't give a fuck if you white, red, brown, fucking yellow, purple. If you were from Kalamazoo or from Argentina, if you are a nasty, sick individual that preys off of someone who is weaker or less fucking advanced than you, you are a monster. Period. Dot. And you need to be strong against the wall. And for me, I think we should really deep dive into why us as I can't speak for every Black person, but for Black America, why do we keep wanting to hide our villains and expose everyone else's? It is a bad thing it's a bad stigma for us, because what's going to end up happening is we're going to take control and still do the same fucking thing they were doing.
Yeah.
So stop doing it.
Yeah. Tohi says, that's very true. It's learned behavior and goes back further than Diddy. Agreed. Ashton says, he was caught doing some illegal shit. Fuck that. Fuck the fact it's weird. And this man of color has his run, just like Weinstein, just like Epstein, Charlie Rose, etc. Agreed.
Agreed. That was Agreed. Ashton, my dude, because I respect you. We family now, so I gotta respect you. You kind of cousin in law. I respect that, and that was probably one of the dopest things you could have said, because you one of them niggas that still think R. Kelly should be out of jail. I'm gonna let you ride on that. You look like one of them niggas that still wear them furry ass coats and listen to "Step in the Name of Love" in front of children.
He said, "Hey, quit telling my business."
I respect the family. I'm just saying.
But yeah,
nah,
yeah.
we
No,
have to get.
let's take it a step back and just be like, I'm tired of men of color doing this.
You know what? You should make we should type that, because out of every person, you from conscious to just dumbfounded, and everybody on YouTube and everybody on any type of social media, no one has said that. I haven't even said that, and that's what we need to focus on. We're tired of you doing it.
Yeah, like stop being guilty of weird shit or illegal shit. And
that's it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Listen. If you think this nigga is sexy because you feel a certain way, stop. Don't slip this nigga a Mickey so you can do something to him that fucking destroys his psyche. Right? Stop. Or stop hanging it over him.
Yeah.
When this nigga try to shake it. This is one thing that, and this is gonna be me being very serious about certain things. The things that they got on tape, and I don't know nothing that's on those tapes, but I do know the interviews that Puffy had and the way he talks to men and the way he does certain things, even with women. The things that they got on tape is very demeaning to a man or a woman, and is very castrating to a man or a woman. It is certain things on these tapes I can guarantee, because that's why this nigga is even on trial for it. It is certain things that are on these tapes that are so hurtful that some of these men would have rather took that to the grave.
Yeah.
Y'all think it's hard for a woman to speak up about being abused sexually? Imagine a top man, a man that thinks he is masculine about masculine and gets demasculated on camera.
Yeah.
That man will never speak of that again unless something tragic happens to, like, maybe his son or a family member where he has to come forward.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's a whole nother beast that people don't even talk about, y'all. And I keep laughing because especially when he was like, I just won't be around any women. Hey, again, no, nobody give a fuck about the women. You like, yeah, you toss niggas around, you act like bitches in wrestling rings. We get that.
Yeah.
It's the man. You got pictures with major people in this business. You think Leonardo DiCaprio wants to sit on stand and say how he got his dick sucked by Houston on a Diddy camera?
Yeah.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. That nigga was taking it to the grave.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that don't want this to go to trial.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. Ashton says, no, I don't. I still love his music though. LOL. He says, it's not about sex, it's about the power, it's humiliation, and how he controls people. Yeah. But I'm sure he took a little bit of pleasure in it. You don't have over 1,000 bottles of baby oil if you're not getting pleasure out of it. If it was just about the humiliation, you'll go in there raw.
Exactly. I'm just gonna, because I gotta be me, and I'm full-fledged 100% negroid. It is, power is 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about power is, it is such an addicting drug that it will become lustful.
Yeah, it's more addictive than the drugs that he was on.
Yeah, that is lust. For me to know that I can have your career in my pocket, and I've never experienced this in life. Never. But I can imagine me having your career in the palm of my hand and not even being affiliated with what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's I can imagine how excited that would make me feel.
Yeah. Right. I can make you do whatever the fuck I want you to do. You know?
It is some type of release from that. It has to be. It
Right.
has to be. Now, I'm only just saying this as a regular man. You know how gratifying it is for Jasmine to be like, this is coming up and this is coming up. And I say, oh, nah, that's taken care of. I just need you to do a little bit of this. Hey, and that's just what you're supposed to do as a couple.
I just want you to show my appreciation.
That's it. If me as a regular man know how that feels, you can imagine what it's like to have that on somebody with power also.
Yeah, with money, with power, respect, because he's been highly respected for decades. You know what I'm saying? So, and he can make you do whatever he wants you to do. And for fear of being exposed in some shit that you didn't even have consent to, you gonna do it.
One thing that I do like, and I'm gonna get off Puffy off of it once I say this. One thing that I do like is, with those all lies being exposed this year, is this is going to make everybody understand everything that a lot of people were saying for years. And I'm not even talking about Jaguar White or anything. I'm talking about those regular individuals that started off in the industry and then broke away, and then they still became famous, and they would ask them about the industry and they'd be like, I'll never go back there. I'll never go back there. That it just ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know, this is we're talking about Puffy, and a lot of y'all black folks get mad at me for saying Puffy should get strung up against the wall. He should. Even though that I'm saying that, I'm also saying he is birthed from an industry that this is prevalent in. So yeah, is Puffy a scapegoat? 100%. Should Puffy still get his ass strung up against the wall? 100%. Is Puffy a monster? 100%. Did he learn it from somebody? 100%.
Yeah. All things can be true.
What's the nigga that started in New Edition? I forgot the dude's name. But he got caught up in a 360 deal, and he ended up becoming the man of giving niggas 360 deals.
Oh, you talking about Michael Bivins?
Michael Bivins.
Not human man. Giving niggas 360 deals. Damn.
I'm saying it's okay. Is it top behavior? Yeah. Does that still mean that does it make him a victim? Not anymore, because he didn't expose it. He started doing it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's definitely was learned behavior, but you know, it doesn't make him exempt. You know. So, this is my last question, and then we're gonna move on because we spent an hour and a half on Puffy ass. I always ask this when we come to situations like this. You still gonna listen to his music?
I never really listened to Puff music, so I can't really say that. Like, Puffy has never been in my Rolodex like that. No, I take that a lot back. Life After Death plays tremendously on in my playlist.
Okay.
So yeah, Life After Death, but that's Biggie's shit. I don't really have a Puffy song that I'm a continuously bump. Like, no. So yeah, he's produced some shit. So it's gonna be some shit that he produced that I'm always listening to. And because that's not downplaying him as a producer or executive producer. He's not really in there making beats. But yeah, it's not a fucking Puffy song and I'm like, oh yeah, that's forever being played. Probably except that song when Biggie died, Every Step You Take. But even when I say that shit, I'm saying that just because shit, the nigga Sting gets paid every time that shit's in rotation because that nigga didn't clear it.
Yeah.
Sting said he don't never have to work again because of that shit.
Right. That is wild. And that song was humongous. But my answer to the question is yes, absolutely. Never gonna stop playing Diddy music.
What's a Diddy Bob that you like listen to all the time?
Hold on. Before I answer that, Ashton says, yes, I cannot like a person's music, his production or his straight up music.
Well, he's never produced nothing.
I can't unlike a person's music. Yeah.
You can unlike a person's music. Come on, man. I told y'all before, like, I Believe I Can Fly was getting played. And come on, I watched every kid become a man on that for fucking 20 years plus.
Okay, so Diddy music. Last Night featuring Keisha Cole is top tier. The Diddy Dirty Money album Last Train to Paris was top tier. Matter of fact, the whole Press Play album was top tier. No Way Out was top tier. No
Way Out was a good album, I will say that, but I don't have anything in my playlist except the intro.
Yeah, Victory. The sun don't shine forever. As long as it's here, then it might as well
shine forever. Better now than never. Business before pleasure.
P.
Diddy in the fam, who you know do it better. And right. No matter what, I'm airtight. So when you hear something, make sure you hear
it right. Don't make an ass out of yourself by assuming my music keeps you grooving. What are you choosing? Know that I'm above. Baby, hug me, baby. I'ma make you love me, baby. Hoes get crazy. They ain't get you nothing but choke. And the jealousy is gonna leave you broke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I listen to Diddy.
I was about to say now that I think whoever wrote that was hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That shit that's one of the hardest shit that Press Play was a dope ass album. I played the shit off of that album. Press Play had Last Night on there, and it had Come to Me with Nicole Shxtsngigs.
I listen. You just gonna just say Nicole, because Shxtsngigs is definitely not how you say her last name.
Right, I know. I got close.
Yeah. I don't even.
Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls. There you go.
I don't even fucking try. That's just Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls.
Right. But yeah, Come to Me was the shit. Everybody loves Last Night. If I told you once, I told you twice. You can see
but it's just not in my Rolodex. I'm never gonna tell a nigga they can't play a Puffy song. I'm never gonna say that. But
then Diddy Dirty Money. Like I was telling somebody. I think I may have wrote it in somebody's comments. But I'm a Diddy Dirty Money fan. Like I got the lyrics to one of the songs on that album tattooed on me. Like that album was the shit, and that was his most successful album. So Ashton says, ironically, Satisfy You with him and R. Kelly slapped like a mother. That did. But it had the I Got 5 on the beat, so he kind of cheated with that one.
You know what? I will say one day we're going to have to have a conversation on this podcast about the artists that you personally fuck with?
Why? I don't look like the average typical Diddy fan.
You do not. And you do not. And see, and you know what? But this is the thing. A lot of people do not. Sometimes when you like really know about an artist, I still be like, damn, you be fucking with them like that for real. And I know I do that, and I know you, and I want to have a conversation about the motherfuckers that you really fuck with, because sometimes I really be like, oh shit, I did not know. It's like I only know. I just keeping it a buck. Ever since I've met you and known you, I've only known you for being a Bone fan, like a bona fide stand for Bone, and then Beyonce. Now, at the same time, I will say this: it is certain waves I done caught you on. Like, for example, when I was on J. Cole heavy, I gave you the Friday Night Lights CD.
Yeah.
Bump that shit.
Right.
But it's like,
you know what's so funny about that though is that the Forever album, that's the one I don't listen to, and that's the one with Busy Bone on there.
Wow. Wow. Like your musical ear, and we have to have a conversation on like this one time.
Yeah, I'm down. Because I am a little different. I'm not like other girls. So
no, I like it because it always makes me be like, oh shit, no shit, cuz like some things I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't even know you fucking listen to that, like, nigga.
Yeah. Be all in. But yeah, I'm a Diddy fan. So yeah, that will continue to be played in my car.
And no disrespect to that. I mean, because again, like you said this, and I've said this in a podcast, you can separate the man from the fucking artist. The man is a sick man.
Yeah.
The music, you can't deny the music. The music is always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Especially if it, you know what I'm saying, if it resonates in you, then you can't deny the music. That's why I said again with R. Kelly. I mean, shit. I worked at a daycare for years. You know how many times I heard I can believe I can fly?
I know, right?
Come on, man.
That was at every graduation.
I believe I can fly, man. Come on, man. That was, man, shit. It still tears me up.
Yeah. That's a dope song.
Listen, I've literally watched, and I'll be telling people don't be understanding, like, you know, I've literally watched children when I was like 15, 16, 17, 18, growing up, until I was like maybe 22, 23. I've watched children become grown individuals now. And I can still remember them walking across a stage because they were about to go to preschool or kindergarten. And so they graduated from my mother's daycare. I'm enamored with that song.
Right. It makes sense.
To think I'm nigga.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sometimes I'm sorry, I was cutting you out, but it's sometimes especially the ones that I see doing great things for themselves. I'm like, oh man, like I remember when
they believed.
Yeah.
It's
wild. When that song come out? What, 98?
Whenever the original Space Jam came out, I think that was 96.
I was about to say like 96. I was a kid. I was a legit ass kid watching kids grow up. Like, so it's kids that are like literally a couple of years younger than me, but I'm watching them do things now. Like I just seen a young man that was at my mother's daycare that I think he was probably about 5 or No, he was probably about 7. And he was doing after he was coming there after school. He just went to law school.
Oh wow.
I was just like, oh shit, what?
Right.
When he was telling me that and he was showing me pictures, and he was like, cause he like my name is Lily. They used to call me Mr. Lily. So when he seen me, he was like, Mr. Lily. And I was like, huh? Like, you gotta know me to know me.
Right.
And so when he was telling me that and he was telling me what he was about to do, I just felt like great. Like, I watched you become this man.
Right.
And that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, you're a part of his foundation.
Yeah, he like knew me from being there. He was like, I'm Mr. Lily.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was fly as mother. That was fly as shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting here on a podcast smoking weed, talking about it. While this nigga about to go to law school. What the fuck did I do wrong? I provided all these youths with these opportunities.
Right. Like, what kind of shit is this?
You know what I'm saying? I provided these youths, these young individuals,
right,
with these opportunities to be great. And I'm sitting here talking to y'all on social media, but I hope y'all love me. So that's cool. Because I was glad that when he seen me, he still loved me for being Mr. Levy, that dude that, wanted you to be great.
Yeah.
Even as a kid. I was a kid and still wanted your kids to be great. Because, when you're a kid, people don't even think about this. When you're a kid, you still think people are kids. And then you realize, oh, no, we was all in the same boat.
Right. Yep. Like, I wasn't nothing but 10 years older. Yeah. Not
even that. Even thinking about that, because that young, he said he went to school. He took some time off. And then he started paralegal work, and then now he's getting into trying to be an actual lawyer.
That's awesome.
So I was thinking, like, even that, because I think I was like maybe 17, 18. So yeah, you're right, about 10 years.
Yeah.
About 10 years. Like, that's crazy, where I'm like, he was a kid. And I'm thinking about it now, like, nah, this nigga was me and him was on the same rat race. I was just the one that got it. I got him on the right path. I just took a stroll to the left and smoked some reefer.
Smoked some reefer. Had a bit of the ganja. Yeah.
Had a little bit of that devil's lettuce, and got caught up in it. Shit. Smoking that dirty grass,
get you every time.
I end up on YouTube. You feel me?
But that's a positive spin to this dark, dirty, disgusting story.
It is, and I'm glad we did that positive spin too.
Yeah,
because that was dark.
Yeah. So, moving on from the diddler, we do want to give our condolences to the family of Tito Jackson. As you know, Tito Jackson is a member of the Jackson 5 and also of the famous Jackson family. And unfortunately, he unexpectedly died last week. He was 70 years old and he had a heart attack. And he was traveling, like they was on a road trip. And so he ended up having the heart attack in Gallup, New Mexico. So we do want to send our condolences to the family. I'm not even going to go down the road, but unfortunately, that has been overshadowed by some other stuff going on in the family, and I'm not even going to justify that with talking about it. But, yeah.
Sorry, I ain't trying to laugh at that, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're straight. But yeah, we do want to send our condolences to him. Because that family is forever iconic.
Iconic family.
Then also we want to send our condolences to Marcellus Williams. He unfortunately was executed this past week by the state of Missouri after him being on death row for about over 20 years. He was on death row for a murder that he did not do. Basically, what the story was that he killed this lady. I think it was like a robbery as well. I can't remember, but I know.
Yeah, it was a robbery. He stabbed this lady. Well, allegedly, because
He was
they don't have
convicted
any
of stabbing.
evidence.
Right.
There's no evidence that he did it.
Right.
But this lady got stabbed 43 times.
Yeah.
And some things were stolen from the house. And he sold a laptop that was her husband's. That was stolen from the house. And that's basically how they built the whole case to Penny Mo.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, none of the evidence matched to him.
DNA showed that he was not even on the scene of the crime.
The DNA was so fucked up that, excuse me, it was the officer's DNA that got caught on the fucking knife, because they didn't use any gloves, and they were just walking around willy-nilly, just fucking with a murder scene. That's one thing. Another thing is the bloody shoe print didn't match his shoe print. Another thing was that his girlfriend at the time and the nigga who said that he did it was originally the people that they thought stole those items. These people have died, so they dead man tell no tales, so they can't tell the truth. Yeah. And that's what kept that man locked up.
Yeah. I think some people have like recanted because they had testimonies that was coerced. And then even the family of the victim came out and said that this is an innocent man and he shouldn't be on death row. We don't want him executed.
Yeah, but they still wanted to get that nigga life. So they still was like, we're gonna blame somebody.
Which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that. But with them saying that they did not want him to be executed, we're gonna say they said they didn't want him to be executed.
They did say that.
Yeah. So the Innocence Project was involved. They had a petition. It was over 1 million signatures that was on the petition. They did present those to Governor Parsons' office in Jeff City. They had several protests. They tried to appeal it. They took it all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And he lost all of them. And then when they took it to the U.S. Supreme Court, the only ones that voted for him to stay alive was the 3 Democrat justices. So yeah, unfortunately, Missouri executed an innocent man. Yeah. So so our condolences do definitely go out to his family.
100%.
Yeah, because they really fought to the last minute to keep him alive.
I'm gonna keep it a total being, and not pull no punches when I say this. I didn't know about him until a couple of weeks ago. And I will honestly say that it was a lot of people, people that I know personally, that were putting up petitions and really trying to rally the world together.
Mm-hmm.
And what I will say is, I didn't do any of that because I knew they were still going to kill it. And I'll say this about it: the evidence was so heavy. We've seen people with less evidence get off and get paid.
Yeah.
The evidence was so heavy that he didn't do it. The reason why they kept him there is his reputation in prison. So let me break this, because I really want people to understand the power of what it is to be educated. He wasn't an educated individual until he got to jail. Once he got to jail, he got into being a Muslim. When he became a Muslim, he became a teacher. When he became a teacher, he became very dangerous. And especially as a teacher who knew he was innocent in the first place, he became a threat. So they never was going to let that man out of jail. You think we're going to have another Malcolm X out here?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all really, I really, when I say this, I really want to like grab somebody and tell them, like, do you really think they're going to have somebody else that can really cause change in a era of a lot of us ain't scared of y'all no more? Like, I get the 60s and the 70s because a lot of us wasn't scared, but the majority of us was.
Mm-hmm.
In this era, ain't nobody scared of shit. You think they gonna let somebody like that out of jail?
Yeah.
Man, fuck nah. We have to understand that he became a martyr. We need to. This is my thing, and I don't expect y'all to even follow through with any of my conspiracy theories or anything that I think about. But the thing that I want to really do is I want to deep dive into what that man was saying when he was locked up that was so important that kept him in jail.
Yeah.
They called that man the leader.
Yeah.
The reason why they didn't let the leader out of jail. You said what?
That's like America's worst enemy is an educated black man.
They called that man the leader.
Yeah.
That's wild. They literally called this man the leader. Dude, y'all think that some of these so-called people be so woke and so aware, and it's a reason why they allow them to say certain things and do certain things. If they ain't being looked at, then you know these niggas is fucking false.
Mm-hmm.
Like, period. The motherfuckers who are quote unquote these niggas that are really awakened people, you know, they don't really have that. They ain't got no YouTube channels like us. And if they do, they get shut down real fast. They ain't got no social media because if it do, it gets flagged.
Yeah.
You think they was gonna let a nigga called the leader in prison? The things he was doing, even proving that he was innocent. And it was easy to prove he was innocent. Imagine what he was doing for everybody else. They were not about to let that man come out of here and really awaken the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my belief.
Yeah.
It's a reason why, although all that evidence was built up and proved without a shadow of a doubt, this man was innocent. It was still the reason why they was pushing back.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one man should have all that power.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's extremely unfortunate, you know, and it's sad. It's sad. And this is my thing. I need for Republicans that think like this to make sense. Make it make sense. Because how can you be pro-life and also pro-death penalty? Like, it's a huge ass contradiction. You cannot be pro-life and pro-death penalty. Especially because of fuck ups like this. Like this ain't the only time. This ain't an isolated incident. You know, they have killed innocent men for decades upon decades.
100%.
So,
and they've also have let white men go with shaky evidence.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just keep it a total beat. And I don't want to make it a racist issue. Not doing that at all. Yeah. But we have seen through the years shaky evidence and a white man to go free.
Yeah.
But this is solidified evidence. This is what got OJ off. If the glove don't fit, we must quit.
Yeah.
If the shoe ain't Hugh, then I need to live life anew. Hey, I don't know how, I don't know what they were going to say in court, but I'm just saying.
You know,
if the bloody shoe print don't match mine, and y'all saying I'm the only nigga that did this crime, then I should be let out in time. What the fuck are we doing?
You know, it has to rhyme to stick. It has to rhyme to stick. You know, you drop some gems there. You definitely drop some gems there. Ashton says, my thing is to look up people's net worth. Tito has worth $2 million and had a small but nice car collection. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess he was a collector, if you will.
Cool. Let's okay. I'll get off that king that died, and I'll get on the other king that died. Check this out. Tito Jackson, gonna be missed. Your family is legendary. At the same time, Tito Jackson, I will never forget. And at one point, you thought you was gonna outweigh the king that is Michael Jackson.
When do you think this?
You know, when Michael went solo, when they did that last little tour, you know, Tito was one of those. He was riding the bandwagon and saying, he's not the only Jackson that can do this, and he's not the. I remember.
I thought that was Jermaine.
It was Jermaine, but it was Tito. Tito was also trying to do his thing too, and I'll never forget that. I won't.
Yeah.
You know, so for that, I will say this, Tito. I hope you up there, and I hope you are whatever planes we go through. I don't believe in a heaven and a hell, but I do know that we go somewhere past it. I hope wherever you at, your brother is looking at you and laughing and still little brothering you.
Well, no, he wasn't little brother him. He would little brother the brother.
Michael?
No, Tito would little brother Michael.
Michael has always been little brothering all of the niggas.
How?
I won't, because he's Michael fucking Jackson.
But he was just little Mike to them. Like, that don't mean nothing.
No, he was little Mike to them until he left the Jackson 5, and then he was Michael Jackson, and then he was the nigga that's really making sure that y'all are good and comfortable. I hope Mike is
But
still little brother in these niggas.
I would hope that's not the case.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope Michael Jackson is like, oh, Tito, I'm so glad to see you. This is your house. No, I want the house up there. No, that's your house. I want him to do that. But then I know Michael don't talk like that in real life, so I want him to be like, my nigga, that's your house.
Right. He's probably talk like DDG in real life.
Yeah, like, hey, nah, that's where you stay. He's like, nah, I want the house on the hill. Nah, nigga, that's my house. You sit your ass right there. Good to see you, though.
Right. How mama doing?
You know what I'm saying? Good to see you.
Yeah. But yeah, so rest in peace to both of those men.
Yeah.
So next up is Shxtsngigs podcast. So Shxtsngigs podcast, they are two guys out of the UK who is well, I mean they're pretty successful. They have a pretty successful podcast.
Yeah, they do.
And a couple months ago they did a US tour. And they went a couple of places. One of the places that they went was on this podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast, but it was with these two ladies, and they were talking about the women in Atlanta and how they didn't think that there were any baddies in Atlanta. And then one of them actually said that Atlanta was clapped, which was wild that that they said that, because Atlanta's not clapped. And then we all know that, you know, Atlanta is pretty much Black Hollywood, so it's a lot of Black people there. So if you're saying that Atlanta is clapped, then you must not think in general that Black women are attractive. I'm just gonna go out there and say it.
I mean,
so
it's not even that. It's just like you and what you do, and you being where you're from, you're just giving Atlanta a disservice, because where you're at and where you're from, what Atlanta has to offer, you're not looking.
Yeah. And you know, there's nothing wrong with your personal preference or whatever, but you know, to say that Atlanta is clapped, that's extremely far from the truth. But not only did they go on that podcast and say that, they also went on the Flagrant 2 podcast, which is spearheaded by Andrew Schultz, who is also on the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlamagne the God. They went on to that podcast, and Andrew Schultz made a comment about Black women, and they laughed at it because they were talking about dating, like what's your dating preference and stuff like that. And I guess they were pretty much saying, like, you know, they don't necessarily have a ethnicity preference, which after further questioning they do. But while they were talking about them not necessarily having an ethnicity preference, Andrew Schultz made some comments about Black women and how they would probably like be arguing with them or yelling at them or something ignorant that feeds into the
they were aggressive.
Yeah. It was so stupid that, you know, when I first heard it, I just was like, whatever, it's Andrew Schultz. Nobody takes him seriously, right? And if you're familiar with his type of comedy, he goes after everybody. He's the one that will say something far left that can get you canceled. and nobody's exempt.
He's a what I will say, and I'll do respect to Andrew's show. He is an individual who believes that comedy has no boundaries, which I'm one of those people that agree with that as well. At the same time, I know that when you say that about comedy, your opinions about people only need to be displayed on a stage where it can be perceived as funny.
Yeah. But in the same breath, this, like, the podcast world that he's in is kind of like a stage for him as well. So
I get that. I get that 100%. But for me, sometimes you have to dial it down because certain things are very disrespectful. Even when you're making it.
But that's the thing though, because again, he's a comedian. People, I mean, there's a debate there that's been going on for a few years now on if comics should dial it back because of the climate that we're in, right? He's the type of person that goes against the grain. So he's going to be a contrarian and say something that will catch you off guard or be left field or anything like that. So for him to say that in front of these guys, we're not surprised. I don't think he got too much of blowback for what he said, right? Even though it was some perceived as racist. Now, the issue that came about was with the guys that's on Shxtsngigs because they laughed. They continued on with the conversation. They didn't have no issue in the podcast with what he said. Now, I have seen clips before where he has done this to other people and they took offense to him and called him out in the moment and was like, yeah, that's not funny. Like, legit, nothing that you just said was funny. So he can be checked in the moment and you can continue on with the show. Like, you don't have to make a spectacle about it or anything like that, right? The problem is that the Shxtsngigs podcasters did not take up for Black women. And apparently the majority of their audience is Black women. And a lot of them, like I'm not one, but a lot of their fans felt a way about that. So they got a whole lot of blowback behind that between the two guest appearances that they made. They got a whole lot of backlash. So they came out and made an apology. Pretty much blamed it on their nerves and all this type of stuff, right? So
some bullshit.
Some bullshit, because of it being some bullshit, Andrew Schulz came out and pretty much was like, if they really felt the way about that particular segment, they could have requested for it to be edited out. They did no such thing. They had no problems with it being left in. Actually, they had a problem with something else, and we edited it out for them. So if they had an issue with that, we probably would have obliged them. So yeah. Then Andrew Schulz got backlash for his response to their apology. So it's been an ongoing thing. A lot of people have said that they have canceled Shxtsngigs for this situation. A lot of people have stated that they tired of Black women being the butt of the joke. I'm not mad at people feeling that way. You get tired of hearing it all the time, and then you feed into the stereotypes and all this kind of stuff. You get tired of hearing it. You know what I'm saying? I used to listen to the Brilliant Idiots every week. Every week, didn't miss a week, right? But it got to the point where I stopped liking Charlemagne the God altogether. I understand what Andrew Schultz does, and that's what he does. I can't fault him for what he does. So, but I just I just can't stand to hear Charlemagne's opinion on shit. So I stopped listening to him altogether. However, when the Flagrant 2 podcast first started, they did used to upload under Brilliant Idiots. So I did try to listen to them in the very beginning. Wasn't that big of a fan of it, so I didn't listen to that podcast at all after I tried. But yeah, so I can't cancel something that I don't listen to. You know, I don't listen to Shxtsngigs. I don't watch Flagrant 2. So it doesn't matter for me to be like, they should be canceled. I'm never listening to them again because I don't listen to them in the first place. But a lot of people do, and a lot of people are like, I'm done. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
First off, let me say I love your intelligent spill about that, because you didn't. I thought you was gonna be on some and fuck these niggas just because of what happened. So I'm glad that the Lindsay that was like, I'm above this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that Lindsay was there. And I will say this. These two individuals from Shxtsngigs are, first of all, yeah, they black. I ain't gonna downplay them, but they ain't America black.
No, they're from the UK.
They're from
and you
the
know,
UK.
a lot of people from the UK are like, their ethnicity is like African, like their parents are from Africa or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying these niggas, because of where they're at, they're not privy to. I was trying to say it nice, but I'm not. I'm gonna just keep it a man. They're not privy to a lot of black girl magic, so they don't know the power that a black woman has. Even though they, I know one of them at least has an African mother. I just don't think that they really grasp what it is, and so it ain't got nothing to do with we're at this place and we're nervous and all this over and we just letting this ride. Like, nah, they just don't know how special black women are, because they wasn't privy to have somebody, and it's not saying that it's not special, super superior black women in the UK. They just don't have the privilege of knowing them, and that's probably because they goofy. Like,
Yeah.
Not gonna downplay that. YouTube make people look a certain way. Any type of fame make people look a certain way. These niggas could be goofy and awkward ass niggas when it comes to bitches, and most black women ain't looking for that. They looking for somebody that can heal, and provide and do some shit. And y'all probably not the niggas that do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to really understand that we're not gonna demonetize them because we don't even listen to those niggas.
Right.
Whatever they're doing over there, they're fine doing it over there. I can guarantee you, if their audience is majority of black women in the UK, they're still gonna move the way they move because the majority of them probably don't like themselves in the first place. Not saying that they don't like being black. It's the UK. And it's a certain way you move in the UK. And because it's a common law or a commonwealth type of providence, they're all just looking at what the queen do.
Well, she ain't doing so much right now.
Well, she ain't doing shit now, but this. But you know, they're looking more at the royalty of what it is, and that's all white, and it's all right. But it's all white, and they move a certain way. That's why it doesn't surprise me that these goofy ass niggas like white bitches. These goofy ass niggas think real type all black women are aggressive. They don't know that from experience.
Yeah.
They don't know that shit
from experience. Look at a little piece of American, they look at a little piece of American TV and build the whole demographic on that.
Yeah, they don't know that. I don't give a fuck if you did fuck with one bitch in the black bitch in the 8th grade and she was crazy. Every bitch that's 13 is crazy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Did you ever have a girlfriend at 13? This bitch was off the fucking chain.
Oh, no, I never had a girlfriend at 13.
Well, you didn't, but I'm talking to the man, like, motherfuckers is crazy. A bitch can't even give you a pencil. You get to just fighting.
Take a pencil from that bitch.
You get the fuck. Come on, man. You can't base that off of what women are doing now. You weird ass nigga.
Right. You only never asked me for my pencils. I got a whole pencil case.
Hey, it's just dumbfounded. It's dumbfounded, irrational shit, and that they're basing their opinion off of, and they're laughing because a white man is only giving you stereotypical shit about a black woman.
Right.
You know, and this is the shit that he does.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's the people that he brought up. Because, like, some things I'm going to find funny. I'm going to keep it 100. But after a while, I'm going to be like, hey, man, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, we going to continue to just make jokes about black women?
Yeah, like, but that's the reason why I said, you know, that's what he do. Like, he goes against the grain with everything. And he finds humor in everybody. Like, nobody's exempt. You know what I'm saying?
And I get that 100%. But after a while, you need, hey, bro, like, everybody knows, like, everybody has been in a situation where motherfuckers will crack a joke about somebody you give a fuck about. And it's funny. Ha, 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 ha. But if you keep talking, hey, man, that's about enough. You keep talking about.
Right, like 1, 2, 3, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, you said one thing that was cute, but you're not about to do a whole stand-up on it.
Yeah, you ain't about to do it. I get it. My uncle a crackhead, man. Stop talking about my uncle.
Right. Move on.
Yeah, we ain't doing it. Like, that's the thing. That's what fucks them up with America. But again, like I said, that shit is not gonna put a dent on what they're doing.
Right.
Because and then America's not gonna shut them down.
Right. And then on top of that, you know, it's already like a disconnect between black people from another country as opposed to African Americans. You know, so you on a podcast with a white guy from America, and the white guy is basically basing his jokes off of black women from America, and you from another country, which are limited information on black women in America, laughing at the shit like it's cute in front of your viewers, who are a lot of them black women from America. It just was a recipe for a disaster. And you started feeling that shit, and that's the reason why they came out with the apology. Because if it was just like 5-10 people saying, hey, that wasn't cool, they wouldn't have gave a fuck. Just like how they didn't give a fuck when they didn't care about it being edited. Just like how they didn't give a fuck when the shit happened in real time. You know what I'm saying? So they only care because they start feeling it in their pockets.
You niggas came down to Atlanta and y'all seen one too many BBLs, and y'all was like, it's washed up, it's trash, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to let this white man say whatever, ha, 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 ha. But I always let white men say whatever. They strike me as the UK type of dude that just be like, I don't see color, so I let everybody say whatever the fuck they want to say. And so, yeah, it did. It affect their pockets, but it don't affect their pockets enough to stop doing that shit. They're gonna continue to jeff with white folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. You know. But yeah, that's the Shxtsngigs situation. So hopefully they've learned from this.
Nah, they didn't.
Well, I was being hopeful.
Yeah, they didn't.
But
It's gonna be another motherfucker to be on anything. And it's gonna be on some real subtle shit. It's just gonna be, I promise you, in about 6 months. I'm not Nostradamus or like Cat Williams, but it's gonna be on some shit where a motherfucker gonna ask him again, like, so what's your preference? Do you date black women or white women? And I bet you they be like, oh well, we like anybody, but we are with white women. Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, or not, because like we both said, we don't even listen to them on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I only see them in reels.
I have never heard of them until this situation happened.
I only see them in reels because they talk about dumb shit. They'll say, what they do is they get posts that are crazy as fuck. Like, hey, I love my boyfriend, but his cousin came from jail and he came and moved in with us, and he was walking around naked and I gave him the pipe. Or whatever, he gave me the pipe, whatever. I'm on my puffy shit. Whatever was going on, like whatever happens with that shit, and then they go into a whole rant about this shit. That's what they do. I've seen them in reels a couple of times. Now, I'm not saying that that's what they do all the time, but the reels that I've seen, it always be like, this young lady wrote, hey, I was with this guy for 3 years and blase skip and blah 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 blah, and then they be like, that's diabolical, and then they get to talking about it.
Okay, so they take like letters and shit like that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even gonna say they take letters. I think they actually like pull shit off of social media and then talk about it. Same thing we do.
Okay. Yeah.
Same thing we do. They just go full controversy, and it's probably always American shit. That's why I probably sell over there real heavy.
Right. Because they're looking down on us, So yeah, so that's Shxtsngigs. So our last subject is about Mr. Cornell Hayes Jr., professionally known as Nelly. He is being sued by the St Lunatics. And I'm just gonna read what the neighborhood talk said, because it's quite a bit. They say neighbors get into this. Nelly has been sued by his childhood friends, the St Lunatics. They are claiming copyright infringement due to Nelly allegedly not properly crediting the group for their contributions to his debut album, Country Grammar. The foursome claim they contributed to 8 songs on the album, claiming some of the songs include Country Grammar, Batter Up, and Still the Show. Country Grammar went on to peak number 7 on the Billboard charts and propelled Nelly into stardom back in 2000. Nelly and the St Lunatics apparently have been writing music together since the late 90s. A few of the tracks they allegedly helped write ended up on the debut album. The Lunatics are claiming they were first notified they weren't properly credited in 2020, when Willie Woods filed a lawsuit for not being properly credited on Nelly's song Ride With Me. Upon learning others weren't credited, the group explored legal options, stating they previously tried to get proper credit, but were given the runaround by Nelly and his legal representation. Because of this, St. Lunatics believe that Nelly never had any intentions of giving them credit. So, yeah. The whole situation with that is pretty wild. Because this album is 24 years old. Now, when I first heard about it, I was just like, why are they just now? Especially because they were just on stage with one another a few months ago. But I was like, why are they just now suing him? But when you read about it, they just now found out that they properly wasn't credited back in 2020. So it's only been 4 years that they felt that Country Grammar wasn't done right. Now, what I'm going to do is step away for a second. So you talk about it. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No, do your thing. Okay, so me, I'm on the end of this. Whatever's going on legally with this case, it really is a not being for the longevity of excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not going off the longevity of what Country Grammar is, because they have been on record and actually on video saying that they got paid for Country Grammar. That they were writers on Country Grammar. Nelly even confirmed they were writers on Country Grammar.
Mm-hmm.
And they were getting compensated. I remember that MTV documentary where they were literally saying that, like, yeah, he was coming through with advance money and just dropping it off to them. So yeah. I would never say that he was not compensating them for that. What I will say is that this lawsuit is where whatever some shifty lawyer or whatever they did, where he was getting the bulk end of it on the back end of it, yeah, he completely owed them that money.
Okay.
You've been riding for years paying these niggas, so continue to pay them. Like, I don't give a fuck if you don't fuck with them no more. Like, niggas fall out every day, B. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that I'm so mad at you that I'm gonna take your money from. I'm never gonna take your money from you. I'm gonna let the world do that.
Yeah.
What
I did just now, I stepped away to get my CD holder, this big ass fucking CD holder, because I have Nelly from 2000. I bought this in 2000. I still have it. So
wow, I'm not even mad at you, because I ain't gonna lie, hot shit.
Yeah,
I watched my sister graduate to that song.
Yeah. So let's see, because I'm opening it up. They said 8 songs, including Country Grammar. They didn't list all 8. Excuse me, but let's look at Country Grammar. Lyrics written by Nelly. Music written by Jason J.E. Epperson. Produced by Jason J.E. Epperson for Real Entertainment. That's not properly credited if they help. Yeah. EI. Let's go to EI. EI, lyrics written by Nelly. And then we move on to other things.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, what about this one? Never Let Them See You Sweat. You remember that song?
One of the best B-side songs Nelly
Yes.
ever had.
And this was featuring the Teamsters. I thought it was the Lunatics, but it was the
That
Teamsters.
shit said, I keep my right guard in case my shore ain't handy. Speed stick it. Me and my
men.
that shit was so hard.
Right. I turned it up a degree and the secret still kept. Never let
them see you sweat. Nigga.
Never. Right.
Nelly, you had a banger with that one. You
Yeah.
did not credit them niggas for that?
Lyrics written by Nelly. Music
That's
written
it?
by hold on. Music written by City Spud. Produced by City Spud. That's it. That's it. Loving Me. Loving Me is my favorite song on this album.
That is a dope ass song.
Yeah. Lyrics written by Nelly. Music written by City Spud. Produced by City Spud. Contains elements of Don't Stop, written by Albert Hudson, performed by Lady. Also contains elements of Whatever You Want, written by C. Wheeler and D. Wiggins, used courtesy of Universal Music Group.
Yep, it sure was. I didn't even think about it. I'm thinking about the beat now, and I'm like, it sure was. It had both of those songs.
Yeah. Everlasting Me.
Everlasting. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Yep.
They said Batter Up was one of them, right? Okay. Yeah. Batter Up featuring Murphy Lee and Ali. Lyrics written by Nelly. Music written by Jason Epperson and Steve Willis. Produced by J.E. and Steve Blass. This composition embodies portion of Moving On Up, written by Janae Dubrow and Jay Berry, published by EMI. So this motherfucker made it seem like he wrote all this shit and ain't nobody help. Ain't nobody did shit for me. I did it myself. Like, that's how this shit is reading. Remember the song he had with Lil Wayne? That one does say lyrics written by Nelly and Lil Wayne. So he didn't play with them.
Okay, so I never knew that.
You never knew what?
So I will take my rant back because they did see this. It is evidence that they was like, we were getting advance money, they were paying us, but what he was doing was giving them niggas hush money.
Yeah.
He wasn't paying them for that actual album.
But this is my thing. Why take you 20 years to figure this out? If you were heavily involved in this album, you are going to open this up, especially this the first album. This is the first person out the click that got, major recognition. And this album went diamond. Why take you 20 years to figure out that your name is not in here as a writer?
So
why did it take for somebody else to get, for somebody else to file a lawsuit for you to be like, you know what? That's the part that I'm confused about. Now he wrong. This shit is wrong. What I just read was wrong. But he's not the only one wrong here.
The only thing I can say about that is the reason why niggas are coming for it 20 plus years later is I think when that whole ordeal went down, it was contracts that had to wait on statutes of limitations. Also, I think it was I think it's a situation where, like I told you via text, some of that has a lot to do with some jelly shit going on. Niggas is at the end of the day, you know, they a lot of them niggas is jealous. You know, these niggas is still eating China, man. And Nelly is eating Ashanti.
Lord, all right.
So,
I mean, it's very possible. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like that. It's not.
I mean,
Because
that's what it is. And
yeah.
at one point you gonna sit there and you gonna look at it, you gonna be like, damn, like, just keep it 100. If you wrote an album that went diamond,
right,
and you sitting there, even if you got somebody to love you, you gonna sit there and you like, I'm with this nigga from the Ford plant. And this bitch is out here fucking Idris. Man, come on, man. Fuck that.
No, I get it. But you know, it's so crazy because I had got a little intel about this whole situation. And before I had the intel, I was just pretty much like, why the hell they ain't said nothing before? You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all wait 24 years to say something? But the intel I got from an anonymous source, a very credible anonymous source, was that they have been fighting over this for years. They've been fighting over this for years, and they've been, you know, keeping, you know, a positive face for the most part, because they were just on stage. Like I said, they were just on stage a couple months ago together. But you know, Nelly and Ali, they fell out a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, but from what I have been told was that Nelly pretty much was the front man. He was the most attractive, quote unquote. So that's the reason why he was chosen, because they, of course, they were a group prior to Country Grammar or whatever. So, but that's the reason why he was chosen to have the solo album to catapult the group. But they was like, he don't write. It's the rest of them that write. They was like, mainly City Spud wrote for him. So I was just like, oh wow.
I mean, you could say that. You can say that, like, okay, y'all could say, like, yeah, he didn't write shit, blah, 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 blah. You can say all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to realize that at one point, this nigga didn't need you at all. And
And then another thing. Oh, sorry.
Nah, you go ahead.
Another thing that I was told was that, okay, so you remember when Country Grammar came out or whatever, City Spud was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is alleged, but it's from a credible source. City Spud went to jail for Nelly. Nelly actually did the crime. So that's the other thing I was told too.
Okay,
or they
that's
both
a whole
did the
nother,
crime and he took the rap.
That's a whole nother deal, because if I do a crime for you and I go to jail and you become this millionaire, I'm automatically thinking I'm supposed to be paid. And you know, some niggas ain't gonna think that. Some niggas gonna be like, hey man, you tripping, it's all about gold. Nah, nigga, I'm gonna keep it 100, nigga. I take a gun charge for you and your album goes diamond. When I get out of jail, nigga, I'm not asking for everything, but you know what I'm asking for? For you to put me somewhere where I don't have to do this shit again.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Like
that ain't a lot. That ain't a lot of money. You can give me $3 million and say, go to Costa Rica. Nigga, you'll never hear from me again.
Yeah. Right. Like,
you got it and I deserve it.
Yeah. 100. And then this is the killer part about that. Because this is common knowledge that when Nelly got the deal, the plan was all they needed him to do was go gold, and then the Lunatics would get the deal.
Yep.
However, he went diamond. You know, so like that's a big jump. You know, so that's
Now,
right. And then remember, on top of that, he was on top of the world. He was at the Super Bowl and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a huge deal.
now
You know?
what I will say for that is this. Now, I get all of them writing country grammar because I remember the interview, and all of them, including Nelly, said that all of them collectively helped write country grammar. What I will say about the St Lunatics album is St Lunatics album is one of my albums that I do play. That's my B-side album. On that B-side album, I will say this. The tracks that Nelly are on, none of them has said they wrote those lyrics. Nelly had some of the best lyrics on country, on that St Lunatics album.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of you want to hear his cadence or whatever, even if you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
At that, I was a Murphy Lee fan because me and Murphy Lee are the same age.
Yeah.
So I was a Murphy Lee fan.
Right.
But I will say, off the flip, Nelly still had the best lyrics on that fucking album.
Now for me,
so if he doesn't write,
yeah,
then who was writing it for him? Because at that time, like, you niggas was trying to strive for yourself.
Yeah, right. And I gave you that one. I mean, I tend to agree with you about the whole Murphy Lee thing. Like Murphy Lee pretty much was the favorite amongst people our age. But as far as albums, I don't remember Keywan coming out with an album nor City Spud. If they did, I didn't hear it. But between Ali and Murphy Lee's album, Ali hands down. Murphy Lee's album to me was not that good.
Murphy Lee's album was trash, and I was mad about that because
upset.
That was my favorite Lunatic. Again, it was one of them. I was strictly on. Damn, this nigga a youngster like me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then his features were always solid. So I thought
they were. And they really pushed him. They really pushed Murphy Lee. Now, when Ali came out, the push was there, but not like how it was like they learned from what they did with Ali and they perfected it when Murphy Lee came out, because the push was there 100% when Murphy Lee came out. And for that album to not be good, it sucked. And for Ali's album to be good and he didn't get the recognition that he deserved, that really sucked.
Ali had 100% the best solo album outside of Nelly.
Yeah.
From the Lunatics. That album was 100% solid.
Yeah.
The problem with that was with Ali, and I tell people I will tell people to this day. The problem with that is Ali, as dope as his lyrics is, he'll make you go to sleep.
It's that deep voice.
It's that deep voice. It's Barry White knew he couldn't do poetry. Because poetry will put him somewhere else. But if you pull it with a melody, he knew that deep voice. He wasn't a real singer. Like,
yeah,
what he was a nigga that had a deep voice and could be like, oh yeah, come on,
right?
Like, he knew he could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ali has some great lyrics, but the way he sounds, nobody's checking for that. Because you can't get hype all the time. We know you don't get hype all the time.
Yeah, the one song that he did get hype on was the most successful. That was that Breathe In, Breathe Out.
Exactly. And we
Yeah.
know you're not doing that for a whole album.
No.
Because we already heard you before, so we know what you do. Lyrically, you do some dope shit, but you have a voice that makes people want to listen to the next nigga.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. But and that's probably the reason why I am not a record exec, because my ass would have pushed Ali before Nelly.
And you and the St Lunatics would never be the St Lunatics.
No, they would still be Nina popping at a club near you.
And I remember seeing the Ali interview where Ali was like, he was supposed to be the one that came out first. Because he had the plug. Like, no one, Ali is like the reason why these niggas are who they are. Like, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
The reason why Ali couldn't have made it happen is because of Ali's cadence.
Yeah.
And at that time, like, if he'd have came out 6 years before that, yeah, I can see that, because he was one of those 5%ers. He was talking that shit, and I can see him being like one of those where you'd be like, well, he ain't the greatest, but he's one of the forefathers. I could see that with him. At the same time, when he was doing that with Nelly, yeah, it was Nelly's time. It was 100% Nelly's time. That's why St. Louis come on, man. Think about it. We got Nelly. We got what's that nigga? Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Oh, Jaquan.
We got
Chingy.
Chingy. You got Pop That Thing, Little Mama, Let It Roll. You got that guy.
Baby, what was it? Baby Huey?
Was it Baby Huey or Huey? What?
Y'all got RIP to him.
Y'all got these niggas that was moving in St. Louis. Ali wouldn't have did it. If Ali would have came out, then we never would have heard about these other niggas.
Yeah.
And it's one thing I'll take to my grave. I heard this when I was 25 years old. My dude, my nigga Kim said, look at who comes out in an unknown city. If they don't sell at least 1 million copies, nobody ever hears about that city again. Ali wouldn't have sold 1 million copies.
Yeah, I don't even know if Ali went gold, to be honest. Which is wild because he came from the St. Lunatics, you know. You would think anything coming from the St. Lunatics, because of how Nelly went diamond, you would think that you at least going platinum.
And that didn't happen. So imagine if he came out by itself.
Yeah. I think maybe Murphy Lee went gold. But I could be wrong on that as well. But
Sexy Red would never exist if Ali would have came out first.
Yeah. Hell, Chingy probably wouldn't have existed.
Exactly. Chingy's lyrics. Chingy said, give me what you got for a pork chop.
Yeah.
You think that would have rolled in any fucking lane?
They are still riding him for that lyric. Just
if Ali would have came out first.
Yeah.
If Ali would have came out first, give me what you got for a pork chop would have never been played nationally.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Chingy got away with a lot of shit because he was cute. Just being real. Because there was a lot of shit that he said that was silly. He had some silly ass lyrics. But Ashton says, at that time, he was the hand that fed them. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. he ain't feeding them no more. And that could be very well true, and that's why they are suing him. But it gives a whole new perspective. Like I'm so back and forth about this whole situation because when I first heard about it, I was like, man, that was 24 years ago. Y'all just now doing this, blah, 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 blah. Then when I got the intel, I'm like, oh, Nelly wrong. Now reading that album jacket from 2000, like I didn't want to pull it up on my phone because I'm like, that shit could be edited. They could have been edited last week. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted it authentic. I was like, let me pull this from 2000 because I still got it. And the fact that they was not in there as writers,
yeah, that's a far. I mean,
that's wild.
I'm only thinking about that because that album sold 10 million. At that time, it sold 10 million. Right, it went diamond very early.
Yeah.
So the fact that
a lot of
everybody's not a millionaire out of that, is a problem.
Right.
Because everybody, that album alone, even if Nelly was a shiesty fucking guy, like if he was just like, fuck it, I want the majority of this. I get it. Cool. But everybody, all of them still should be millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them. Like
you're right.
It doesn't matter about whatever Nelly was spending and whatever he was doing for the record labels, because you know everybody got a 360 deal, all that shit. But if shit was lying like it was supposed to be, it is really money on the table that they left there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the check shouldn't have been coming from Nelly. The check should have been coming from where Nelly gets his check from for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it should not have been this way. And they got to make it right. They got to make it right. Because the way that shit read is that motherfucker was like, I am a one-man army. And if that is not the case, that's not cool. But I would have been pissed off back then. You know what I'm saying? I would have been pissed off back then. I was talking to my coworker about this shit, and I was just like, that motherfucker wouldn't have made it to Sweatsuit because you're not about to play with me. Like I would have probably let you slide to Nellyville and to the remix album, but you ain't making it to Sweatsuit without giving me my motherfucking money. You know what I'm saying? Or giving me my credit. We're gonna do a re-release on this bitch or something. Like you gotta make that shit right. Like I'm telling you, that bitch would have never made it to Sweatsuit. And I don't mean to call Nelly a bitch, but whoever fucked this up, because I mean,
this is the thing.
It couldn't have been just him.
What I think happened, because again, Ali was originally managing Nelly. So, and in my mind, what I think happened, and this doesn't have to be true,
mm-hmm.
but in my mind, what I think what was happening was, Ali was getting a big chunk out of that, and he was handling these niggas and feeding them niggas off of that, and then what happened was, Nelly realized he didn't need Ali no more. And then when you don't need Ali no more, then you got to cut Ali off, and then he can't pay these niggas no more. And then after a while, this money dries up because Nelly don't even bring y'all through on shit he doing. Like, we have to understand that Nelly, regardless of what y'all want to say about the bankruptcy and all that shit, Nelly consistently is on tour.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for 20 years strong. I don't give a fuck if he's only getting.
He's transitioned over to a whole new genre. He got a whole new fan base. He got a whole new portal of money coming in.
Exactly. And so I don't give a fuck if Nelly is making the bare minimum of what they pay everybody. All of them still should be getting a queen share of it. Just because they launched his career.
Yeah.
Because they're not, then that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because if I know I'm gonna be on these my TV show money, and then all the other stuff I do, that money's my money. My endorsements, all that's my money. But tour money should always be broke up. Even if y'all don't show up, y'all still should get a check in the mail.
Yeah.
Because y'all are the ones that wrote this shit for me. And it's evident they've said this already. That's the thing that I don't understand. Is like we already have we really have documentary evidence of them writing this album to make sure that Nelly got pushed, and Nelly actually acknowledging this.
Yeah.
So for it to only be just Nelly on the lyrics part is just disrespectful.
It's bad disrespectful. Ashton says yes. Ali was the big homie. Nelly was the little homie. And Nelly's net worth is $70 million.
$70 million.
$70 million.
If my net worth is $70 million now, I would just say would have never even reached that. I might have like 35, but I'm gonna give like I'm that other 35 is spread it to them. All of them niggas is millionaires. Period. They can never say nothing bad about me. I'm just one of those niggas. Like, even if I don't fuck with you no more, you really can't say nothing bad about me. If you saying something bad about me, it's a character flaw that I have in myself. But you cannot say that I didn't make sure that you was good.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. Like how women say, and did, like they be like, hey, all we did was make me a millionaire, and I'll be like, and did. I showed it. Yeah, I made you a millionaire, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You
can say whatever you want to say about me, but do you not live a luxury that don't nobody else have?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
I will die on the cross of I love when somebody catch me on the fuck up. Okay, I fucked up. It is what it is. Unless you try to do something detrimental to me, like try to fight me or try to do something extra, man, I don't give a fuck about nothing I did. Like, I did some weird shit back in that. Man, come on, man. I can name some shit out of it. I don't give a fuck about. Unless you trying to talk about you gonna do something to me about that shit, I'm not getting mad about that shit. You know why I'm not getting mad about that shit? Because I honored that shit a long time ago.
Yeah. 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 But I'll ask this one question and then we'll go ahead and close it out. If you were a St Lunatic, and you were in this situation, what would making it right look like to you?
For me, for those niggas, like I've been saying, it's like they should never be millionaire. They shouldn't be in a situation where they have to sue you because they're not comfortable. Y'all would have got paid. Y'all would have been paid. Y'all would got a percentage of everything. Like, I understand what it is to be the voice. To be the voice, be the one that's dropping the lyrics. That is why Drake is who Drake is. That is why Puffy, bringing it back to what we're talking about, is who Puffy is. You have ghostwriters. It is what it is. At the same time, the thing that should be for ghostwriters is they should be well compensated for what they're doing. Period. If it was me, I would make sure that they was well compensated. Well, we would never have this conversation. It would never be they're suing me. They're well compensated off that fucking country grammar album. Super well.
Yeah. I don't think that money is the main focal point of this lawsuit. I think the credit is, and I could be wrong, but
Even if y'all want y'all would have been had the credit.
The credit
It would never be a situation where me and you are arguing over this. Y'all got the credit that y'all helped me because, again, like I said, it's evidence that y'all helped me write it. It should have always been Cornell Haynes and other niggas mentioned in lyrics like it is now.
Just written out Cornell Haynes and other niggas.
Like, should have been.
Open and shut case. Right.
Open and shut case.
That's all I want. Cornell Haynes and other niggas.
Should have been there. And they should be competent. For a album to go diamond, all of them still should have at least $1 million.
Right. They should all still be going to the mailbox getting a check out. Like that should go without saying. But I feel like it's more than that because, like you said, he was pretty much backing up a Brinks truck on him, you know. But to the world, literally the world, we're thinking that Nelly is this super writer, this superstar writer. So it's like in 2024, when people don't buy physical CDs anymore, when people don't necessarily read the credits, what would making this right necessarily look like? You know, can you go? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, can you go back and change the split sheet or change the credits to where moving forward they can walk to their mailbox and get a check, and they get their check from the same place that Nelly gets his check? Will his split be different now? Like, how does this necessarily look if they were to come to an agreement that will be fair moving forward?
I would say it would, at this time. I'm getting major feedback. I would think at this time it would never be one of those situations. None of them are ever going to be satisfied just because of how this played.
Yeah, I feel like the damage for the most part is already done. The only thing that I can see them getting the credit that they deserve is by making this extremely public, like it's been. Like, it has to hit the blogs. We have to have podcasts talking about it. Like, we have to have discourse for people to know and for it to be exposed that Nelly did not write that album by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the only way that they can truly get the credit that they deserve for Country Grammar. Ashton says, we've had to do the math and get you the money you deserve. Them being a millionaire versus him keeping them a millionaire are different things. Just like Benny Siegel and Jay-Z. That's a good comparison.
And no, it ain't. And I'll shoot that down. I'll shoot that down right now.
Why you say that?
The reason why that's not a comparison is because Benny Siegel was able to move past Jay. Benny Siegel fucked money up, and he'll agree to that.
Okay, I get that.
So I'll never say that.
Yeah. Because he had his own movement for a moment.
Yeah,
he did have his own movement for a moment. I get that.
Yeah, Benny will attest to he fucked the money up.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing in a nutshell with the St Lunatics is, of course, he was giving them. He was spoon feeding these niggas.
I wouldn't even say he was necessarily spoon feeding them. It was just him paying them.
See, that's spoon feeding for that's still spoon feeding for that first album. Every fucking events he got to do different things, he was spoon feeding them niggas off of that, and that is wrong because this is what, for me, I don't know too much about the music industry when it comes to certain things, but I do know as being trying to be a part of the music industry and being someone that was in certain meetings, I will say this. For a man, for his album to go diamond, from that album, if I was still able to give y'all like little advance money, so maybe that advance money was like, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing heavy. Because I'm just going off my head. $250, whatever, advance money. They want that money back. You went diamond, so they made that money back 10 times fold. Those advances, you was shooting them niggas 75, 50, all that. Then they said we gonna give you another album, and now your budget is $5 million. Then I'm gonna shoot you niggas off like 500 racks a piece. Boom, boom, boom. It's still crazy. Then you know what I'm saying, and that was supposed to be y'all albums, period, because it was a St Lunatics album, but I spoon fed you. Then I come out with my shit and I do the same thing over and over again. Like, so I'm giving y'all this money like it's in abundance, and like it's just always coming, but it's really always coming to me, like you said, Lindsay. Like I'm paying you for me. I'm not paying you from them. I'm paying you for me, and so that's where respectful shit goes in, and that's when I have to sue you.
Yeah, and
then we'll go further than that. We'll talk about when Murphy Lee came out and when, because I was my favorite lunatic, how that push went, even with the Diddler. That album got pushed heavy.
Yeah.
And so he got a major advancement for that. He should have got a.
He was
Murphy
on,
Lee.
He was on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack with Shake a Tail Feather. And he was also on the Welcome to Atlanta remix. So those were two major pushes. Not to mention Nelly is your co-sign.
And your Nelly's your co-signer. On top of you got a deal signed. So the fact that Murphy Lee is not a millionaire lets you know that it was some fuck shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because Murphy Lee, out of all of them, if we're gonna do anything, Murphy Lee got 2 hits. Even though they were features, they were still hits.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't even have to say a millionaire. The fact that he's not comfortable.
He's comfortable. He's comfortable. Somebody just told me literally last night. He's went on somebody's show and he says that he still gets booked damn near every weekend to sing What the Hood Gonna Be.
And that's still a worker. That's a worker. Yeah. I shouldn't have to work no more.
Agreed.
I shouldn't have to work no more. Like, but that's what I'm saying.
Is he comfortable? Is he comfortable? I would agree that he's comfortable. I would say that he's comfortable. You're not agreeing to it.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing to that because comfortability. Like, listen, the money that I make, is good money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I comfortable? No. You know why I'm not comfortable? It's because I always have to make sure that I go out and get this money.
Yeah. Okay.
Comfortability is. I get you that. Comfortability is this money's coming. Shit. If I want to spend a day at home, playing with my son, I should know a check is coming.
Yeah. Right. And I give you that, but I feel like comfortable is being able to make the money and being able to live at a certain, like, I'm not necessarily paycheck to paycheck, and I'm able to live the way that God intended me to live, I guess.
And I get that 100%. And for people that live like that, for all of us to live like that, I say yes, that's exactly how you're supposed to be. But me and you are not Murphy Lee.
We're not.
Me and you are not somebody that when they play, oh, boop, boop. Nobody is reciting our lyrics.
Right. Yeah, I get you that.
If you're reciting my lyrics, I should be looking at a check in the mail at least every couple of months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should be looking at a check in the mail. Period. Like, and I will only say this because Denzel said this shit, which makes a lot of sense. And this nigga's a workaholic. And Denzel said, going to your mailbox to get a check is superiorly comfortable.
Yeah.
Man, he said that. Like, when he was like, when motherfuckers was like, is acting hard? No, what the fuck? No, it's not. Because he know what truck drivers have to do. Trash man got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That shit ain't hard. Going to your mailbox and getting a check is not hard.
Right. Right.
No, like I get it. Being a character, yeah, you gotta go into yourself and you gotta do all that. But what you don't have to do is worry about if your license getting cut off while you're trying to be John Q.
Point.
Fuck no. That's what Murphy Lee needs to be in that level where, yeah, I don't got to worry about that. He's not there because he still has to do a show and he still has to do things and play music with a nigga he don't even fuck with no more.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from with that, but yeah, I guess we're definitely going to see how this all plays out. We have a vested interest because we're Missourians.
It shall not be no Missouri slander. I've said this before, and it will not be no Missouri slander. But I will say, and the immortal words of Slim from Cash Money Records, pay them people that goddamn money, man.
Right. Just pay them and let's move the fuck on. So,
pay them people that goddamn money.
Before we close out, one last thing about this. Which one do you like better? Country Grammar or Nellyville?
Grammar.
Really?
Hands down. Country Grammar.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Hands down. Nellyville was a good album. Will not take that away from Nelly. But that was Nelly who was famous. I like Nelly who was hungry. Country Grammar and that St Lunatics album. Listen, Nelly, regardless of if he wrote every lyric, he made sure he was a vocal point every time it came out. My favorite song on the St Lunatics album is "Here We
Go."
Come now, girl.
Yeah.
That nigga said.
Yeah.
That nigga said this in the lyric. He said, "I'm the only nigga that can take a still picture in 3D." I said, "That's hard."
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, yeah, whatever these niggas got to say after that is not going to compete with that. And it was true.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was true.
Yeah. Cause we be down from the sky to the ground. Sipping Alizé steady bumping on a pound. Well now.
What now?
Going down, up, down, cause we be. Yeah, that was a shit. My song was which I didn't even know until years later they did a video for it, was Okay. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
These niggas brought their cars out, got the stars out. Hey, that was hard.
Yeah. Ain't been here 2 minutes. Mommy already yelling what a nigga gonna do with it. Can I hop in the minute? I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Even in that. Now, even that song.
Yeah. Shit, I'm
Think
about to play
about
that
it.
when we get off of here. Shit, because that was my shit. That beat
Think
was
about
hard and
that.
everything. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
One thing I will say about that.
Now. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. One thing I will say about that is how that played out with Ali knocking that home run out.
Mm-hmm.
That just made that song 100% better. But that's what Ali can do.
I agree.
Ali cannot start that St. Lunatics run. Now, Ali should have been pushed way harder than he was because he would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have been able to start that run.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. I will never downplay Ali. Ali is one of the best lyricists, and I will say this, and I'll stand on this. I will say Ali is one of the best lyricists that came out of Missouri, period.
So you put him up here with Tech?
I'll put him right up there. And the only reason why I put him right up there is because Ali used to remind me of how underground Chicago rap was.
Mm.
He used to remind me of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to put him up there in high resolves as a Missouri lyricist. I have to, because he transcended what everybody was talking about in Missouri. And you have to respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, that's one thing I did respect about Nelly and shit, the St. Lunatics as a whole, for real, for real. They not only put St. Louis on their back, they put Missouri on their back. Like they represented for the whole state. Yeah.
To be 100% fair, they put Missouri on their back and East St. Louis.
Straight up.
Just to be 100% fair.
Right.
It's the same meaning of if Rich the Factor blew up and always talked about how he was being in Kansas.
Yeah.
It would have,
and the complete opposite is how Tech Nine don't say shit about Kansas.
He don't say shit about Kansas.
All right, so that's the Nelly and the St. Lunatics lawsuit. Hopefully they'll come to a nice resolution. But yeah, I don't have anything. So Jerry's final thoughts, take it away.
Jerry's final thoughts. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna be transparent with the audience. We're ending September. I have not been good, y'all. I haven't been. I have been relying on my life support, which is my family, and I really respect that. And I think what I'm trying to get at is when you're getting to those points that I'm at where you're second guessing yourself and you're thinking that you're not good enough or worthy, or you've made mistakes that causes the challenges in your life, you need to talk to somebody or talk to your family. Let them reassure you that you are the person that you think you are. This is my daughter's birthday month, my daughter would have been 3 years old. And I always catch myself in to thinking of what I should have did or what I could have did, and I have to come to the realization of I could have did everything for me and my body, and it wouldn't have never changed what was going on with her and her body. And I need people to help me do that, and I want y'all to reach out to people too, because sometimes we can get in those funks and those disparities, and we think we're the superheroes that are supposed to make all the changes in the world, and then we realize we're just human. Look for people, seek it out, find guidance, find help. That's the only way that I'm still able to even talk to y'all, is because I looked for people, seen the signs, and found help. Do the same thing, please. I ain't gotta go through my road of crazy depression, but when you know you see that point, just look for your lifelines and be grateful for them, because they're not gonna be here forever, y'all.
Yeah.
And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Yeah. It has a whole different meaning after saying that. Take care of yourself and others.
100%.
Right. Right. So that is episode 133 of the Ish We Talking. We will see you guys for episode 134. Bye.
Exactly.